Welcome back, everybody, to the Gears Esports Summer Major, the last dance, as we've been calling it, as we are halfway through day number 1 of pool play and some crazy matches so far to kick things off. Some exciting moments, as you'd expect from a Gears Esports Major. I'm joined once again on the desk with Ryan Fools and Toby Campbell. Gentlemen, how are you feeling so far? How are you enjoying the action, Ryan?
It's been fantastic, man. Some incredible matches to kick off the first day. Usually pool play's got a whole lot of 3-0s, and today we have had some absolute nail-biters, so I've been absolutely loving the action.
Toby?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still thinking about the last series. It hurts me. It really does. Deep down, when you're on the last major, of course, Twilight just coming from challenges that you can't get to the Pro League. This is your last time to battle. Showed so much heart and effort, but it wasn't enough in the end. I'm going to keep a close eye on them, personally, throughout the rest of the major for sure, and Casa, of course, too.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they can do. Obviously, they showed a lot in that last matchup. However, let's move on and let's move forward to our next matchup. Enough of the LATAM situation, which we've seen a lot of. It is time for a American matchup between eUnited, the red and blue, going up live against the Northern Forces. And this is a marquee matchup. Why? Because the names involved. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rosters here so you can see exactly what we mean. eUnited, the dominant squad that has yet to raise a trophy in recent times. Of course, since that God squad with Mental, Explosive, and Co. Powers joined alongside TJ Force and Demise and Dyslexic, all yet to win a trophy in Gears Esports. We'll see if they can do it. That's a big if, of course. Meanwhile, they'll be going up live against the Northern Forces. This is a team with names you know and names you love. Kenny Bounce, multi-Gears Award champion, over 15 championship trophies, joined alongside King Lava himself, who's hoisted quite a few under the Optic Gaming banner. Former teammates back then reunited alongside new guns and new kids on the block. It sells, and it's rocky. It's going to be quite the matchup here. Ryan, start to break it down for me. What gets you most excited about this one?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a fun sort of match that you have Kenny and eUnited alumni going up against sort of this new look eUnited. But for me, one of the cool storylines is the fact that we have some of our sort of most storied players in the final event going up against some young guns. So that's the stuff I'm looking out for, right? Looking at players like Lava, like Kenny. Of course, they have incredible teammates in Cells and Rocky, but those guys, they're fairly new to the scene, right? We have a couple legends of our game going up against some former teammates and big organizations. So that to me is the cool storyline.
Yeah, and I got to completely agree with you. I mean, it's just crazy to think. I say it almost every broadcast because I feel like I have to. I remember casting Lava and calling him the 17-year-old kid from Virginia back in Gears 3 when he was just a rookie, a youngin' on the scene. And now he's the veteran. He's the old man on campus alongside Kenny, 28 years old, Lava, 25, 26. It's crazy how time flies, and it's crazy how new names have entered, and that's Cells and Rocky. So I'm excited to see what they can do. Of course, eUnited, the rookies of Gears 4, now, well, they're experienced, and obviously they're a contender for first place this weekend. Let's jump into the map picks and bans here overall to see how exactly things shook out. Toby, here's what we got. Here's the series overview, and break it down for me based on the stats. Who do you think has the advantage?
Yeah, that's it, right. I think we kind of leaned eUnited before we saw this map pool right here, but interesting. First of all, I'll point out the fact that eUnited has gone with their classic Aphira. Nothing has changed there, apart from their success in Pro League. They actually went 1-2 in Pro League, surprisingly, losing out to PK and one other team also. And the fact of the matter is, we kind of stick with Vazgar as well, a really good map for eUnited. 4-0 themselves in Pro League, perhaps the best team on Vazgar now, eUnited. That's for sure. And Northern Forces, they're 3-5. So it's interesting that they've went for that, honestly, after playing it so much. We see the classic ritual control. It's almost like a repeat of the last major, John, of these common maps coming in for eUnited, their traditional picks. They're 3-1 in Pro League as well, eUnited, by the way. So again, they're kind of sticking to their guns on that one. Check out execution. If we can get to it somehow, if Northern Forces can make it there, we saw what they did against PK prior on this map. They have some really good talent on that one. Rocky and of course Cells have been like the pop-off players, the big slayers for this roster. If they can really come on through, especially in, say, a Fear execution, where eUnited admittedly have looked a bit weaker as of recently than in the past, then maybe, just maybe, they can make their way to that last map and do damage against eUnited. But they have to do that, though. They have to be consistent throughout the series, and sadly for them on paper, I think this kind of map pool kind of benefits eUnited more so.
Yeah, and I think that map number 3, we always talk about it, right? It's the kind of the devil's match right there in the middle. that it's going to be tough. It's Northern Forces pick, but United's really, really strong on Vasgar. I think just got a lot of experience on it. If Northern Forces can take that game 3, I think we might see this go to a game 5, which would be insane. That's a big if, but I think it comes down to that matchup right there. Map number 3, Vasgar escalation. Let's take a look at the keys to victory, though, for both of these teams. Fran's keys to success, starting with United. Toby, what are their keys here?
Yeah, I think the main thing about eUnited right now is kind of just getting themselves in the mental game and looking ahead, because they've had so much success in E-Days, being the best team there and really dominating in Pro League, that they need to get in the major mindset. And I think a part of that is this literal key to victory number 1, setting the tone for the weekend. And I think, yeah, you kind of need to get into the groove of that teamwork. You need that individual star players of Powers and TJ to come into their own very early on and really set themselves up mentally to go forward and take on the more difficult games. Meanwhile, teamwork is kind of just the main aspect that you have to look out for Northern Forces, generally speaking. Of course, that goes without saying when you have Kenny and Lava on the roster. What more do you want on a roster based on teamwork? And slaying power, United, of course, are just incredible. Perhaps the best team when at their best in that region. And so with that said, if United can just go through and just outslay over and over again, it doesn't really matter how much Rocky and Cells kind of pop off, say in that plat area on checkout or early on in hotel on Afira. TJ Powers, Demise, the likes of all these players will just run over them regardless of what opening strategies obviously the team of Northern Forces throws out on, say, especially execution.
Yeah, I think it's a great point. Obviously, teamwork is the advantage here for Northern Forces, but slaying power for United. On the flip side, Northern Forces, well, Ryan franchises back to his dad pun ways, but please take this one.
Yeah, somehow I keep getting stuck with all the puns. So for Northern Forces, the key to victory is going to be to let the lava flow. And what we really mean by that is that Lava needs to get into the championship form that he has shown us in previous titles, at previous events, whatever it may be. We need to see the absolute best version of Lava if they're going to win this match. He's a big, big X factor for this team. And of course, in general, this team needs to trust their leadership, right? Cells and Rocky, they can really shine alongside these 2 veterans. So we know this team has good teamwork, but they really got to make sure they trust the calls of those guys like Kenny and Lava who have been there before. So it's going to be a big, big part of this team's success. They're at a very big uphill battle. There's no way around it, right? This United team is absolutely one of the 2-3 titans we have at this tournament. So they have to play their best from top to bottom. They can't hesitate. They have to make moves because there's a big, big giant in front of them.
A massive giant. That's a United. Grand finalists from our last major, and a lot of people thought they were actually going to be the team to win it, coming from the winners bracket. Unfortunately, couldn't do it as Rise was able to complete the sweep from the losers bracket, which was insane to see. But we know United has what it takes, and they are absolutely titans in their own right. So I'm excited for this matchup. I think it's going to be a great one. I want to get straight to it. Let's jump to predictions real quick and breeze through what we think is going to happen. I have a feeling I know where y'all are going with this, unless when y'all is feeling risky. Toby, kick us off.
Yeah, I think you kind of have to lean United's way. I kind of hinted at that, right? Just before we saw the maps, it was simply just United with a huge lead over Northern Forces just on stats alone with how they've been performing in the Pro League. And I think Northern Forces have a lot to make up for. And I really do hope we see the kind of championship level Lava and Kenny come through, because I think they're going to need it, honestly. They've got some great caliber in Rocky and Cells, but in terms of the maps, they really are the comfort zone for United. And I think United will be rolling in that comfort zone. They can set the tone and really aim for the level of perfection that Fran really wants to see, and I think we should see from them, then we should see a 3-0, honestly, I think, from the United boys. But if not, maybe a map gets dropped, maybe it doesn't. Say on that Vasgar, for example, maybe we see Kenny and Lava pop off and really come into their own. I'm not sure, but you have to lean heavily United's way, and if they're playing at the best, this should be a simple 3-0 for them.
Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, it's almost impossible in this scenario not to go with eUnited. They're looking like one of the best teams in the world heading into this event. Now, I do think this is one of those scenarios where this could be maybe one of those sort of 3-1 matchups. I could see a world where Northern Forces maybe takes an execution from them or something along those lines. But to me, I think this is going to be a pretty cut and dry win for eUnited. I'm with Toby. I think it's going to be 3-0, but like I said, I'm probably leaning a little more towards the 3-1.
If you were a betting man, had to bet your life savings on it, would you say 3-0 or 3-1?
Oh, man, it's a tough one. Depends on what odds I get on both. But I think that if I had to bet on one, it would probably be 3-0. Just like I said, this United team, I think to me right now is looking like one of the strongest teams. They're also playing in really good form heading into this tournament. So I do think that, while I do believe Northern Forces is one of those sort of upset alert teams, especially with some of their experience and sort of the skill across the board, I think this United team is just too good. And the map pool, like Toby was saying, they got a lot of good maps that they like.
That makes sense. Yeah. And I'm going to agree with y'all. United's taking it. I'm going to say it is going to be 3-1. I'm not going to put my life savings on it, but I'm going to say it is going to be 3-1. I think Northern Forces shows some life and has a really good makeup of a squad overall here. So I'm really excited for this matchup. I hope Northern Forces can put up a nice little fight and a challenge here. But hey, I want to get the perspectives and the insights of our two casters who are going to be joining us here for a little cheeky 4-box or 5-box, depending how you look at it here. Let's welcome in our casters. This is Blaze and Colin, who's grown a few inches standing on something. Colin, you've gotten taller, my friend.
Yeah, you know what? I got you, Big C. Don't worry. Oh, you came off the box.
Hey,
I had you.
he knew I was getting too big for my britches, all right? I was getting too big for my britches. Blaze used to always coach me, keep me on the right track, and then he saw how big I was getting for myself. He knocked me back down. That's all.
Get that out of here,
That's
okay?
Right. He had to make sure I was all right.
Oh, man. But, I hear
Northern Forces. I know you like them. You guys think Northern Forces can take a map?
You know what? Colin, me and him talked about the match right before, and he says, yeah, Northern Forces versus eUnited. I was like, damn, we going to be here for a while. Maybe like a map 5. He says, nah, dog, you relaxing. 3-0. Okay, and after seeing the map pool,
you're not
they look
gonna love
good
your
in the first
Kenny?
3 maps. No, this is eUnited in a 3-0, but I'm with you, John. I'll go 3-1. Because I don't feel like Northern Forces is going to roll over that easy, but it does look like an eUnited victory within the first 3 maps because these are 3 of their best maps.
Nobody loves my dad more than me. Kenny bounced himself for Northern Forces, but I'm going to say this, and I'm only going to say it one time. Every time I bet against them, they win. So eUnited in a 3-0. I ain't got no hat to throw for eUnited. I'll have none. eUnited in a 3-0.
We ain't got the laptop?
Oh, laptop's still in the other room.
We'll get the laptop later.
Boys, I like these predictions, Blaze. I like you rolling with me, Colin. I like the bold statement with the 3-0. I'm going to go ahead and throw it over to y'all to cast the action, to break it all down. Either way, it's going to be a fun one to watch. A lot of great names, a lot of dynasties, really, in the grand scheme of things. Let's go ahead and throw it to you. Enjoy the cast, guys.
All right. Thank you so much, John. Yeah, Colin. This is looking really good for eUnited. We talked about the map pools before, the maps beforehand in the pool, and I think we both was in agreement. Like, man, we got a Fear in there. You got Vasgar. You got the Regency Control as well. 3 maps in which eUnited are absolutely dominant in. But on the other side, you got a player who knows them like the back of his hand, and he can come up with a strategy to beat them as long as the lava's flowing and as long as Sales and Rocky can do what the team needs.
I take a look at this map pool, and I say to myself immediately, Northern Forces picking it District is a bit of a scary sign for me. I know how good eUnited has been on District.
Okay.
This eUnited team
District
has the biggest comeback in history on this very map. They were against Fury 1. Granted, it's a different team.
Remember?
But nonetheless, you're down 280 to, I think it was like 34, and you still come out on top. So that's just a scary pick for me in general. I love the second map, though, for eUnited. That Afira pick, to me, that's big time, because they're basically saying, are you good enough to go toe-to-toe with us, blow for blow with us in the middle of that hotel? But then you get to Vasgar. Northern Forces, again, they pick a map that eUnited is strong on. And I'm sitting here thinking, that's the big worry to me. Does Northern Forces know something I don't? Do they see a strategy I've not thought of? Because when you give them the first 3 maps like that, all I can think is eUnited's got to be salivating them out like, thanks for the easy Friday.
I was just about to say that. And looking at the map pool, Northern Forces picked 3 of those maps, okay? And there's some talented maps in there for eUnited in the first part of that series in 1 and 3, but they know that, and they have to go in there and be able to. They have to go in there and they have to be able to have a game plan, okay? Have a game plan and execute it at the end of the day, okay? Well, as we get ready to watch this matchup, ladies and gentlemen, we got a nice little special video to show you guys from our Legacy series. Check out some of our favorite community members' favorite teammates.
That is a hard question, man. I have a lot of favorite teammates. I feel like everyone I've ever played with, I took bits and pieces from.
Who my favorite teammate of all time and why is a pretty loaded question when you've been competing for 15 years. But I think I'd have to say Eternity. He's definitely the person I have the most history with. We've been through a lot. We're best friends. We still game together outside of Gears all the time. He's just so fun to hang out with. I love him.
It's either Keem or Vexies. If I had to choose one, I'd probably have to pick a Vexies for now because that's probably the last person I play with. But, he motivates you to be better. He's a good person. He's a good IGL. He's a little hard-headed himself sometimes, but you know, he just has a lot of talent. As you can see, they just won a championship. So, no, he's a good player, very, very dedicated to the game.
It's the one teammate I've played with for the longest since the beginning of time. It'd definitely be Detox, without a doubt. I teamed with him beginning of Gears 4. I teamed with him Gears 5. I always played with him since I started actually competing. He's the teammate I've been teamed with for the longest out of anybody in this entire scene.
Oh man, I gotta think back like 15 years. I would say it is Cutie Pebbles, just because I felt very comfortable. She hyped you up, you know, taught you about the game. She got me playing with like other pros who kind of, you know, just showed you their skills. So yeah, I'll say it was Kate.
Probably explosive. Him and I started together and we pretty much finished together. I think he put an extra couple events than me. I retired a little bit earlier than him. I mean, he's my favorite teammate for many reasons, such as like we went on like a few dynasty runs and we did really well together. And over years, you know, we just created that bond, a friendship, like almost like a brother to me. So yeah, it would definitely be explosive as my favorite teammate of all time.
Detox was my favorite teammate. I teamed with him for about a year and a half almost. And the way he communicates with his teammates is the reason why I love Detox. He never argued like that. He never really talked bad. Like if he was in his wrong, he was in the wrong. If I was in the wrong, he will talk to me a certain way where I wouldn't feel like I'm being diminished or put down as a player. He always made sure that his teammates felt good whenever he gave feedback.
The reason why Bobby Rice is my favorite teammate is because, you know, he was one of the first people who, you know, I felt like we can go really in depth on strategy. Like me and Bobby could fill up a composite notebook with information that we had on teams, with strategies that we wanted to come up with just visions that we had, and we'll try them all out. They might not all work, but me and Bobby was always on the same page.
It'll definitely have to be Divine. She was a great captain. We headbutted quite a few times, but that was all part of the game, and I was very stubborn anyways. But yeah, no, her, because she's become like she's become family now to me, so.
Jay's one of my favorite teammates of all time. I gotta throw my boy Jared in there, neglectant. He's not playing in Gears 5, but he's still one of my favorite teammates. Lenny, Rush, Ice-E. Those are some of my favorite times playing the game, is with some of those guys. Some moments that like I would never trade in for the world. Like memories that I'll never trade in. Like I love all those guys to death.
I absolutely love that Legacy series right there, okay? Shout out to everybody who put that together, friend, doing all the questions and interviewing everybody. Yeah, as you guys heard, man, Bobby Rice, my favorite teammate out there. Me and Bob, man, we used to go toe-to-toe with any squad out there. We studied VOD. We broke their strategies down, came up with counter strats. When we got Kenny on our team, we felt unstoppable, had Enterprise, and we were just running through people. And one of my favorite teams in the whole wide world, teammates, Kenny would have been my number 2. Okay. Kenny would have been my number 2 out of all of that, and maybe, you know, evolved as number 3 in that. But man, so many awesome interviews right there.
Hey, look, I got blessed. The only LAN I ever got to play or compete in really was a Microsoft Store LAN, and I got a good 1 and 2. My 2 favorite teammates of all time are Franchise and Praise. I got to be on a team with both them suckers. I said, get out of here. Let's get out of town.
Yeah.
But, I mean, as a teammate in general and just in life, I can't think of a better teammate than you. You're wise beyond your years. You got the best advice on planet Earth. You keep me in check, and that's a hard job. You can ask anybody in that studio over there, but you somehow find a way to do it. So I wouldn't pick anybody else on God's green earth to be standing next to me casting over this match, Blaze.
My brother right there, okay? Colin the Crow Clark in the building, and ever since you've been on this Gears team, man, we have absolutely loved you. All right, all the way since that New Orleans event. Turn it up, came in fresh to death with the suit. We said, who is this guy? Hey, Gears' biggest fan right there. And yeah, from then till now, it's been nothing but history and awesome moments with our community at home, watching the best Gears of War players in the world battle it out for fame, glory, and the hearts of the fans at home. And we got a banger of a matchup coming up here, okay? eUnited going up against Northern Forces. And so we're going up against District Control first. Okay, what is Northern Forces going to be their toughest task in this map number 1, especially going in these first 3 hills to try to really put that pressure on eUnited?
One of the things that I think Northern Forces underestimates about eUnited, and a lot of teams do it as well, the only team in the last 2 splits that hasn't underestimated this has been Rise. eUnited has 4 of the best 1v1 players walking planet Earth, dyslexic, Demise, TJ, Powers. So if you go into that back cinema area, that very first hill that you got to fight over, who are they sending into the 1v1 at the drop shot? Do they counter strat that by making it a 2v1, try to get a quick pick there in the middle, pick the drop, and then bring that in to save your teammates? Or are you going to try to go toe for toe, play the 1v and then the 3v3 up there? Because whatever decision you make, you know that eUnited, they're not going to back down from their station. If they know they got a numbers advantage, they're going to pressure. If they don't have a numbers advantage, they're not necessarily playing defense either. They're going to say, dyslexic, take one of them with you, and I'm almost as certain he's going to find a way to do it.
Yeah, he definitely is, okay? I know one way that Rise loves to, like, kind of counter that off the start, if they're going to get aggressive for that drop shot early on, just stop what you're doing, point the Lancers towards mid-map, get some extra damage, have faith in your teammate to put the pressure on a 1v1, wait for that down to come up on the screen, and then, you know, press in and just collide, trap, get cinema control, get spawn for next at arcade. So we'll see how that works out.
I also really love a lot of the times I see eUnited play a strategy where they play through the mid fountain. Early on when we were playing Escalation on District, the fountain was kind of a no man's land area because of how big those two windows are at the Juice and the Cinema. But for all you viewers at home, now that we're playing Control rather than Escalation, you can play through the fountain because people aren't going to be posted up in those two buildings time and time again. I have seen Powers on several occasions go to the top of that T of the fountain. He either can shoot down into the cinema at the 90 degree to help his teammates, or he's able to turn right if he knows his teammates getting bullied and get Lancer Fire in to make a down easier, maybe even make a chunk happen for whoever's playing that 1v1. I've seen him do it a couple of times. I'll be curious to see if he does it again because, I mean, you still don't want to go into that cinema heads up because that turns into Demise and TJ. You're going to play two guys that have been playing together since basically the inception of their career back in Gears 4.
And you know what type of synergy those guys got, right? You know, Astro battles 2v2 champions and Demise and TJ. TJ 1v1 champion of Astro as well. And so they're always looking to get any of those CQC fights, especially even a 2v2, because that's simple for them, okay? They know how to take any 2v2 situation in which they're in. But I'll be excited to see how Powers is going to play that fountain, okay? Because, you know, those middle spots in the initial, that player has such a big role on making the play, right? Do I want to help the team here in a 3-1, okay? Put my numbers this way, or I'm going to leave them because I trust that they can hold their own, go help my teammate over here. And Powers makes some great decisions, okay? So I'm excited to see what he's going to make to kick off this this first map. But, hey, the first map, it is going to be a banger. Northern Forces, they are the underdogs, Chad, okay? And I'm pretty sure the way that the vote has went, you guys voted him an underdog also, but with a team that has nothing to lose, how scary can he be?
With nothing to lose, you can play free, play clear-headed. It's the other team that kind of has some onus. That normally works in most situations, but I think eUnited, they don't ever play like they have something to lose. They look like four guys, three of which are trying to win their first championship in history in Dyslexic, TJ, and Demise. Powers has felt that before. Powers has done it sitting next to a franchise, sitting next to Kenny, sitting next to Explosive, sitting next to Mental. This is the story I brought up last major. Powers wants to be able to do this with his guys. Not around legends, not around some of the best we've ever had in the game, with hand-picked friends, the family he chose in this game. If he can do it here in the final major, that is going to be one hell of a storyboard to follow. I take a look, though, at Northern Forces. They get to play free and clear. If they get that first set of kills, they know that the respawns are going to come bottom because, you know, they've got one of the smartest players that has ever played this game. Kenny's going to understand if we get kills here, they're going to spawn there. If we wipe them here and rotate in, we can block the spawns over here. I have spent so many times talking to him about where just to set one of the players on your team to block spawns for the opposite team. It's not necessarily engaging your opponent. It just makes them spawn as far away on the map as possible so your guys have an extra few seconds to set up, be ready, be able to Lancer because you know, again, when they come off a respawn, it's a fresh set of flash grenades that are going to come right at you.
Yeah, and you know, when it comes down to that too as well, like it's so important to really understand those respawns in every single player on the team right there. I want to go back to what you was talking about on Powers, how he wants to win with friends, okay? He wants to win with his bros, with his homies, and don't want a super team, right? But granted, you could almost say the eUnited is built like a super team with the players that's on it, the caliber of players is there, okay? We can say that. We could put them in that category. But there's still some camaraderie there, and you got three players who have never won a championship before. There's plenty of other players out there who've won championships that would love to have Powers, and people try to get them or try to go to his team, but this is the eUnited squad that he wanted to win a championship around, and I think he can do it. It puts some extra pressure on him, but it's not pressure you'll feel because you know your teammates are relying on you. You know the fans are relying on you. And for him, he takes that very calmly, okay?
Yeah.
And he just goes out there and just puts it into his gameplay. So I'm excited for him on that one. But his teammates, the biggest thing that can hurt them is feeling too much pressure on this weekend to win, okay? You know, day 1 should be easy. Day 2 should be easy. But how they finish day 2, losers bracket, winner's side, is going to decide a lot about the pressure in which they have on Sunday morning to be perfect, okay? That way, you know, you catch them with a few big plays, double kills, whatever, it might not be looking good for them, but we got to get there.
I don't want them to gas themselves out. That's one of the things I worried about last major, and it looked like they did that. They made it to the grand finals, and Rise was able to take advantage of that, where all the pressure was on Powers. Rise could pretty much pick on his 3 teammates. This time, I want to see eUnited take it a little bit slower on a Friday and a Saturday, secure their victories, and make it to Sunday with plenty of gas in the tank.
Let's get it. eUnited versus Northern Forces on your screens right now. You're going to see Powers with the first blood on Rocky. But a quick rebuttal from Sale against Demise, and it's a 2v2 at the hill, 1v1 towards mid-map for the drop shot. Currently eUnited with some decent control over the hill, and they got presence here towards the middle. If they can get an extra Lancer into this fight, they'll do on some justice, but you will see the 2v2 battle. Well, it's going to be an easy victory for eUnited as they continue to collect on time, but the lava is looking like it's starting to flow. We'll see what he can do with this drop shot, Colin.
He's going to rotate this down to that side of the map where he's going to have that 90-degree angle up into that hill, trying to get right into the cinema. He's actually got a little opening between these pillars he could use. He's throwing a little too far, right between both of them. Doesn't even get splash damage, and that will allow eUnited to continue to sit pretty in this first hill and just allow themselves a dominant early advantage and force Northern Forces to rotate over into P2 early.
All right. Northern Forces still trying to contest this heal here towards the middle. It's nothing but scrap time, though. So Lava get caught out. Kenny will play his life and get down low to help his teammates. Not a bad death for Lava. He'll probably end up spawning closer to his teammates in this situation, but here towards the back spawn, that time in which he's not here, you see eUnited successfully using their numbers here towards the back. Getting the multiple downs. There's Kenny, there's Sales. They should be able to get the cleanup. Lava spawn behind. He's in a position to actually help Rocky, and that's a great shot from Rocky to stop any other pursuers down the stairs, and now Lava's back into the action here against TJ, but what an angle on the wall. TJ gets away, well, just almost gets away with his life. Instead, Demise versus TJ in the hill. Kenny has help, but it's pressure from the front, pressure from the back. Sales 1v1 against Powers in the juice. Misses the second shot, holds the third, misses the fourth, and now Powers with a right hand. He feels it.
Powers knew exactly what Cells wanted there. The couple of wrap shots, he stayed right out of range of them, made sure that he wasn't getting overly hurt. He kept his health pretty much succinctly in his hands. Kenny's going to try to hop the cover, try to get back into this fight, challenge somebody. He's going to get 2v1 inside of the juice. He's going to drop a flash, back A onto Powers, gets it down. TJ will be able to clean that up, but eUnited securely in the hill toward the backside. Cells is going to pressure out toward Demise, and he gets the shot off. Demise only gets the down. Cells will get the kill, and a decent amount of points should go over to Northern Forces on this P2, but it's not really even enough to kind of cut the hill in half unless you're going to give up positioning toward the ATM.
All right, well, we see the positioning being given up here by Northern Forces as they're going to have to start looking towards next to ATM. eUnited off to a fantastic start over the first 2 hills. Rocky with a nice kill on Demise. They'll be able to revive both of their teammates. A shot grenade will be blocking the passageway just a little bit. 2 players trapped. One able to get around. A drop shot. Do you use it on Powers? Do you bring out the pistol? I like the pistol option here. Save the drop, but hey, everyone knows it. There's a flank from Demise. Rocky can't do anything for now, Colin. So Cells, he has to at least get a kill, play his life. You see the holdup outside. eUnited, they call for help. Rocky stays composed. He doesn't get a good enough cross from Kenny on the other side of the map. And now Demise. Well, Cells could be forced to shoot this drop shot soon.
I'm surprised they didn't shoot it a little bit sooner. You kill the player in the window, you don't allow them to hop the cover and then go for that rotation. Instead, he's going to save it. 2 players are going to be in the info on the flank. 2 players are going to be inside the hill. He's going to drop the drop shot and miss it as well. Dyslexic gets the first. He rotates back into the info. Both players from eUnited are hurt, but nobody has still touched the hill. Northern Forces can't break in.
They're trying everything. They're running around a house looking to see where can they hop the gate. How can they entry this, but they just cannot get through. The defense from eUnited, absolutely solid. 3v4. Well, 4v4 situation now.
Powers is down and out. Demise is down now as well, but the kill comes through. They're going to go for the quick revive here. Cells, bottom side of the cover. He's going to have two teammates with him. Wolf packing in. It's going to be Lava and Rocky. Cells with the secondary wrap gets the kill. And even if Northern Forces win this, it's 10 seconds left, Blaze. All you're going to do is get 2 points and then rotate off, whereas eUnited come away with about 45.
Hopefully they get some confidence off of that. Hopefully they get a little bit more confidence in their battles. Kenny will win a big 1v1. He has some help next to him as well. The reason why it's a big 1v1, the next heal is here. He has his bandstand control in the right hand. All they got to do is get Northern Forces, eUnited to spawn over there towards the arcade side of the map, but Demise is clearing it! Took his legs. Lava, you got to win those. TJ takes down Rocky, and eUnited all set up. 65 seconds in the hill, Colin, and it's a Northern spawn coming out for Northern Forces.
Yeah, Northern Forces is going to have to come through that juice and maybe even rotate down that mid lane. What they're going to do is the top side here. Cells is going to get angled out. A lot of Lancer damage from Powers, and TJ with the drop shot now. The second they get the call out that there's a maybe revive coming in, they might pressure that for the kill. Kenny's going to go for the flank onto Powers. Gets that first kill. Drop shot onto Lava. Only gets the damage. So right now, Northern Forces with a pretty clean sweep. 2 down and dead, looking for a third. Can they get TJ before the reinforcements arrive? Another one comes through onto Dyslexic, but here comes the cavalry down the stairs to the arcade to try to shoot back against the Northern Forces.
Man, TJ call for help, and help comes. eUnited staying united in their team fight. TJ, he actually gets away with his life, staring death in the face with 2 players in front of him. They just couldn't push him, Colin. Well, you'll see Northern Forces get aggressive inside the juice. A flash won't get any stuns there. Powers will reposition. No one didn't have help from his teammates. Northern, they have to get through so they can control these cog spawns for the Pergola Hill, but they can't get in. They're going to have to work the outskirts towards Cinema. Spread out the defense of eUnited. Well, as you guys take a look at your mini map, eUnited sitting pretty. 26 seconds left on the drop. New shot grenades already spawned. Now, we do see TJ with a drop on his back, and he's had this drop for a while. I don't know if it was an old one and he just hasn't died in a while, but we'll find out soon as Rocky gets pressed back.
Almost hits him with that little up A, that little reaction shot coming around that corner, but this is going to be Kenny getting the first kill on Powers yet again, trying to open things up. Kenny fighting back against Demise. You see Dyslexic with a kill onto Rocky with the meat shield, and my goodness, what snub fire from Dyslexic and Demise. That is picture perfect. The rate of fire, the damage output was there and succinct. Lava's going to try to roll away around this planter, but there is almost nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. He's trying to take somebody with him, but he's going to bounce and die. Powers now in a 1v1 against Rocky. He'll get taken out at the bottom of the fountain.
You got the shot grenade on top of the drop shot, blocking it. Rocky trying to distract Demise, but he's going to have to kill him out of this position. Demise backs up, gets down, but the save comes in from his duel on TJ. eUnited setup stays strong with 19 seconds left remaining, Colin. I honestly thought our first control that we saw in the beginning of the day was going to be one of the biggest blowouts, Fury 1 and Digital Slayers, but it's looking like eUnited is trying to top that right now.
I mean, they are putting their best foot forward to try to top it. Rocky's going to roll into that intro. He's going to get down, but the revive comes through. TJ gets a double kill, and now Cells caught between a rock and a hard place in the cubby corner. He's going to get 2v1. Drop shot on his back will go to waste. Nobody will face that wrath.
Man, TJ in between 2 players and wiggles his way out with 2 kills. eUnited set up again for next. A beautiful hotel setup, but we'll see if Northern Forces can get themselves a membership inside, but they're going to have to earn it first. Demise backing down, looking for some reinforcements, completely repositions, but I love that. Puts out a little bit of damage and slowly backs up to a position which he can pull out his Lancer and make the fight even more difficult for Northern Forces. Pretty much punish them for not killing him even sooner. That's why you have to be decisive. What? I thought I saw a stun come through, but Sales, he'll find a kill. And now Northern inside the hill. But 2 kills being picked up in a spawn and a trade as well.
That's a big trade for them to be able to hold on to this hill. Sells, beautiful play by him, understanding the angle that he's at, making sure that the concrete is there and is his best friend when that flash grenade hits the floor. Now we see the shots in. Sells is going to get it down onto TJ there. Rocky inside of the hill, shooting back against the grain on that planter. They're going to start rotating out because the next hill is the reset, ladies and gentlemen. We go back to Cinema. 6 hills in, 6 hills out, 270 to 73 with eUnited well on their way to victory.
Well on their way. Now, you're going to have Northern Forces set up at the first hill of next. At the first hill of the second rotation. TJ with a drop shot in hand. Lava will punish him. He gets the down, but no cleanup. Just slowed down eUnited a bit, but the flank from Rocky gets the down. Demise will have an easy revive, so TJ will play his life. But he has 2 targets lined up. He sees multiple marks on the screen. He sees where his teammates are as well. They'll focus their attention towards Cinema. This is the play, but the drop comes up short. Just need a little bit more depth on it. But instead, it's going to be Northern, a 3-man unit. They got to move in now, Colin, but you'll see that flank from player 1. Even more reason for them to move in and not take this trauma from that Lancer fire that Powers is giving them, but they will work together to spread out into the hill and start moving on over towards this cog side of the map where they have to deal with Dyslexic holding the spine.
Dyslexic to the backside here, trying to play out the back of the Pergola. Gets a bunch of body shots on a Rocky, but not enough for the down. They get the down, they're going to finish him off, let him bleed out back there, make sure that his teammates don't have a respawn as fast as they'd like. The shot grenade onto Cells is pretty perfect. Kenny rotates up to make sure if the revive is needed, he is right there. That's great teamwork. That's great awareness of the positioning of your teammate. Demise, though, will take the backside toward that nade spawn. You play it in rank. Dyslexic bottom side of the map will have the new shot grenade, but a ton of bricks thrown out. Concrete blocks, but Kenny hits the killing blow with the second player down and out. Northern Forces will have a good hill hold here at P1 at the Cinema and are fighting back into this map 1.
Yeah, I'm loving this from them. Fight back, Northern. Show us that you can contend with eUnited in this control, and we're seeing a lot of this in the late game, but also eUnited, they're relaxed, okay? They understand that they need to just get 18 more points. They can find 18 points here by just getting this 1 kill and also multiple kills. Northern knows that they have to push into the fight. They can't back up. The fight's looking good for them as well as they'll find 2 kills. TJ has to get out. No shot grenade will be there. It just got used, so no power weapon to protect, but he will hold the position as his teammates spawn behind him. And I love how he rotates towards mid-map to help Powers out, lets his teammates fill in the back lines. Drop shot is up.
This is going to be a big fight over the drop. You see 3 players from eUnited down at the bottom side of the fountain. Kenny inside of the juice is going to get the flash thrown at him that lands and goes off perfectly to save TJ's life. Kenny tries to go for the back A to get the down onto Powers. Powers is going to skedaddle to the bottom side of the map with TJ in tow. Big up A there by Dyslexic to get the kill onto Cells. Now pushing in toward the hill. TJ still has not used that drop. They're trying to win this with just the default weapons because worst case scenario, you hold on to the drop going into the next hill, but now Demise goes out. DJ's all by himself, but TJ, he's going to need a little bit of help. He gets the down. He picks up the meat shield and is now sitting pretty with 15 seconds left in this hill with plenty of time to win it.
Plenty. Demise versus Cells. Cells, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? He gets 1. TJ says, don't worry. Dub, Blouses, eUnited. Map number 1 locked in. What a performance there, man. They made a statement. They came out, and I think it was on Fran's keys to victory here. They had to come out and show perfection.
Yeah.
Start working towards that. Not try to hit that peak on Sunday, but hit that mode a few maps right before.
You want to talk about perfection, Blaze? I got a few stats to hit you with. 3 times in that map, eUnited had a 60-point hill out of 75 pops.
Ooh-wee.
P1, they won it 60-0. P3, they won it 60-2. And P5, they won it 65-0. They shut them out or kept them to under 5 seconds in 3 separate hills. You want to know how to get to 300 quick? You do that a couple times.
And you know what's so funny about that, too, for me is that, you know, P2 and P5 are arcade and hotel. The bottom hills of the map, those should not be money hills, okay? Those hills can be easily contested. You can utilize those shot grenade there. But up top, I always felt like A-Team and Pergola was more of those money hills because you had that height advantage to shoot down and keep players there towards the spawn side of the map. But eUnited, man, they're getting it done, and Northern Forces, just unfortunate for them, the power weapon control didn't work out for them. We saw multiple drops missed early on in the matchup. Once that lead spiraled out of control, they had to start taking more desperate fights that they didn't have success in early on in the map. So it just gets harder in the late game. We saw some battles won, but you know, it wasn't enough to quantify and getting this map closer and coming away with a victory. Instead, it just ultimately added up to eUnited in a 1-0 lead. Now we're going to have to start focusing on map number 2, Afira Execution, where we know how talented eUnited is once again.
Yeah, without a doubt. I just taking a look back at my addition here on all these hill points as we added them up. I talked about the 3 separate hills, that it was 60 to less than 5 points for Northern Forces. I mean, if you just look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if you look at the first rotation, 237 to 47. Hills 1 through 6, your first rotation in map 1, 237 to 47, 190 point differential, Blaze. You cannot dig that deep of a hole against eUnited and expect to come back to win. That's what worried me about this map pool. Looking at it, we go into this map 2 Afira. We go to that mid-pillar fight. Now you've got to deal with how you take that mid-pillar fight. Are you going to challenge Powers, who normally plays down low at that torque bow? Are you going to try to challenge out at the drop where TJ's used to being to play at? Where do you go? Where do you hide? Who are you going to call? It might be your favorite teammate from that first Legacy series, because if anybody's going to have a counter strat, it might be you or him.
Yeah, it might be, and I think we got a few that we can come up with, but I'll give you one tip right here. You know, it don't matter which lane you go, okay? Just commit to the play. And the reason why is because if you want to go down low for the bow, you got to deal with Powers in a 1v1. If you want to go up top towards a drop shot, you got to deal with TJ's evasive self, okay? You know, you don't know which way he's going to go or how he wants to play. He does a great job hiding his movements off the initial of the round. But if you choose to go middle, Demise, okay? The player who I actually think is going to come out MVP on this map for eUnited, Demise, like the way he plays those stairs, he's super patient. But anytime he strikes, he's almost good for one, okay? Unless maybe he gets rushed and they press him back. But from there, he just lets his teammates know, get the power weapons. I'm going to try to stay alive, okay? I'm not going to play into their hands, so I'm excited to see how he's going to play. But yeah, man, you know, we talk a lot about TJ and Powers, but Demise, man, execution maps like these be his highlight series.
I was going to say, and if Demise was watching the broadcast before this matchup, all he had to do was watch how Chabi played that mid-stairwell to finish an execution on Afira with 16 assists.
Yeah.
The fact that he had Lancer out helping his teammates, Snub making sure that nobody was getting clean kills or getting away for free. Those are the things that guys in that mid-hotel position can do that can really tip the scales in your squadron's favor. You can find yourself in a 3v1 against somebody if you help, or if you don't lend a helping hand, you can find yourself in that 3v1 quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yeah, and that's not a position in which you want to be in, all right? So as you will see, when it comes down towards execution, you're going to have to be decisive off the start of the round. What play you want to make? If not, somebody's going to make a play on you, okay? And so you don't want to find yourself in a situation where next thing you know, you're getting pushed by 2 different players and there's openings on the map. But if you are getting pushed by 2, it is an opening, right? You just have to be able to assess and find an opening quickly. And so if you are a great reactionary team, it's okay. You can run a base strategy, all right? On this map, it'll be a 1-2-1. 1 player in each 1v1 lane for the power weapons, and then 2 players inside the Estamont Hotel. So that's a base strategy. And even from there, just seeing your opponents off the initial, you can tell which strategy you want to use. You don't believe me? Well, head on over to @Gears Esports on the Twitter, and you'll see some clips. Okay, you'll see some clips of some teams doing exactly what I said, or you can find them on the YouTube. But I'll tell you one thing, man. We'll see if this match is going to be one for the ages and get uploaded. I'm pretty sure it will be. Map number 2 between eUnited and Northern Forces. Let's lock it in, Colin.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming out of spawn in round 1 here, Cells is going to have a flash thrown at him. He ducks the first one. Rocky has a great position down toward the torque bow. Kenny has taken over the middle stairwell, and up top over that torque bow spawn. eUnited is center player as well. TJ now has the drop. Cells over the top. Will TJ rotate back and just use the drop for the opening kill? It looks like he's going to try. He forces Cells with a hop and drop.
Cells wins
Dyslexic
these.
gets the down, and Dyslexic gets the kill.
Cells wins those.
Cells wins that one. It's 3v2. Now 2v3 very quickly, and Northern Forces are on the back foot.
Now Cells has to flank, and he couldn't get the chunk that he needed. needed a miraculous play there. He won his 1v1 and he took out the drop shot. He did his part, but everything that happened inside, he had no control over. Well, at least in that part of the round. eUnited, they will strike first. Demise and Dyslexic, 2 kills apiece.
I like this idea from TJ. I hate the fact that he didn't go for an active or back off to try to bait cells for the hop. Like, go for the active but bait him out so that you can take a more solidified 1v1. He just pulled it and shot the rocket off, and you're not going to get a lot of kills that way. Round 2 early, we're going to have the same situation. We're going to give up the drop shot over to TJ, try to take control of the middle hotel. They get the early initial ice-breaking kill, and they're going to continue to try to pressure onto this ledge. Powers over the top, big body onto lava, gets the kill, and now the drop shot was in for that kill, as a matter of fact, and Cells to the backside is trying to stay alive for as long as he can to help secure round 2. Not only does Northern Forces get first blood, they solidify the round with the overload through the bottom of the map.
Also, I can see that Northern Forces X Factor is playing very, very good right now. And that is going to be Cells. Great double kill from him in that round. He put a lot of pressure on Demise, won his 1v up against Powers. And we saw his play in that first round, taking out the drop shot. But let's see if he'll be able to get his team back-to-back rounds. We're about to find out. On board with Cells as he squared up with Demise and Dyslexic here towards the stairs. They'll double flash and shift down low. That will be a Twerk Bow pickup, and eUnited planning on rotating out of his position as they give up the drop shot to Northern.
A little bit of an overstay here by Rocky. He could have put himself in a bad spot to get torqued out maybe. On the top side of the map, the drop shot has been picked up by Kenny. These are back-to-back rounds. Northern Forces has done 2 different looks. Last round, they go for the overload to the bottom of the map. This time, they overload the top side of the map. Last round, they secure an icebreaker kill. This round, they secure the drop shot, but no kill. So now it's solidified and split. One powerful weapon for each squad. Everybody's still alive.
You know, one of my favorite strategies in execution, doesn't matter who I'm playing, I love running like 3 to 4 different strats off the start if I have that ability to give you 3 to 4 different looks. So I know for the rest of the map, you're always thinking about what may be coming, right? I feel like that's something that Northern did. Now, rather, it doesn't matter if eUnited knows those looks or not, they still have to counter them off the start, and Northern knows how to hide their movements on the initial. So, loving that tactic from them, but you still got to come away with the win, and we'll see for the first time how does this drop shot pickup is going to work out for Northern Forces, as Kenny is going to be looking to make the play, one of the best drop shot players we've had since the weapon has been introduced to the esports in Gears 4.
He's waiting to just hold on to that active as well. You notice he's not hitting the active. He's just reloading to reset the timer on it. Reset that counter, so the next time he goes for the reload, he knows he can hit the active. It'll be its thickest bar. It's the easiest one for him to hit. He's just waiting for somebody to push in. There's the active, expecting a play to come out. He's going to shoot one long range over the top. Not enough intel. He doesn't get that kill. The reload is in and through. Shot over the top. Gets the kill on a TJ, but the bow is still safely. And Powers' his hand shot over. Cells finds a second. Powers is all by himself. And it looks to be a 4-1 clean sweep. Northern Forces, they go up 2-1.
Oh, yeah. That was a great round. Great round. A lot of patience. I love how Kenny waited to use those drop shots at a later portion of the round. And, you know, he was honestly, you know, letting eUnited know, like, hey, we're in a better position, okay? We have control over the hill. We have control over the drop. You guys chose to play low side when the hill is up here, so work your way up. If not, you're going to play into our hands. And Northern was patient, and he got the play that they wanted. So, as we head into round number 4, you're seeing a basic, whoa, no. Northern sitting 2 down low and 2 in the middle. It's going to be a quick drop shot pickup from TJ. Powers will escape, and Northern will choose to rock the Twerk Bow instead. They may, with the next hill, I think the next hill is going to be either inside the hotel or down low towards the bow. Regardless of where it is, Northern has position, but now they just have to dodge these drop shots. Excited to see how Kenny is going to choose to use his bow, because he is the power weapon specialist on the side of Northern.
TJ, I think what he has to do is use that outer ledge to his advantage. One of those positions that you can use, because you know it's not going to be in the parking lot. It's either middle of the hotel or it's down at the Twerk Bow. If you stay on that ledge right outside of where he is right now, if you were to go onto it, you can drop into the overtime hill from that top ledge from a pretty safe position. Or from that ledge, you can drop into the hill that's just inside of that hotel over the sandbags. Looking for a little pick here on the Demise. First bolt revving in the quiver for...
Oh my
goodness! The splash damage on the active was enough.
It was beautiful placement there from Kenny. Demise didn't have anything he could do there. And Demise is a great torque bow player, so he understands where the position of that bow is and the splash damage and where he has to go. But it was just, you know, unavoidable positioning that Kenny put that bow in. Now, man advantage for Northern. Looking good this round, but they still have to deal with this drop shot. And, you know, I'm on record saying that I'd rather have 2 drop shots and be a man down on this map in any given situation.
Torpo revving, misses the shot there. Not even splash damage, Blaze. That puts him in a pretty tough position because now they have to take this fight. They've got to try to get a kill here onto Dyslexic, but nobody's down low to challenge out the overtime hill. TJ is in it. Drop shot to the middle. Is going to get the kill onto Rocky. Shock out from the other side. Keeps him damaged up. They can't stay in. They get the down there. And now it's just TJ. TJ will ensure some damage, but Kenny with the torque finds the killing blow. Dyslexic, he's going to try to run in, but
he ain't giving him no free kills. Yeah. Like, you know what? Y'all got that. Cool. 3 in a row. Let's see if he can keep the lead now.
100% first blood conversion rate for both teams as well. If you get first blood, you're winning the round at this point. These two teams are so good and so careful about protecting their numbers, especially on a map like Afira. That's why you see it. You get that first blood, the reset comes in, then they try to take advantage of their next numbers position.
Best stat you can have in execution, 100% first blood conversion. We'll see if that stat holds as we're on board with Sales, as he will be mid-map, getting some decent damage in on Demise, but he sees Demise in a different position. Where's Dyslexic? He should be able to call it out to his teammates that something is funky. Make sure that you're checking your corners, that you got extra players in your area. They'll figure out that it's outside. Man on man everywhere on the map. Lava with a decent shot, but he's taking a lot of decent shots in the middle. TJ avoiding Kenny. TJ gets shut down. Whoa, what you doing, big fella? The blind fire don't connect, and Demise will find 2. Great effort from Kenny. Rocky goes down, and eUnited shall get the round.
So right there, Blaze, that's where you lose it. That round, you get that first kill on TJ, then immediately you get turned around and a double kill goes the way of Northern Forces. They lose the 100% conversion rate thanks to TJ. I was actually really weary of Kenny's positioning to the backside of that parking lot where that drop shot spawned, because I thought he would have the angle onto the baby steps, and instead it ends up being TJ. I wish I could have seen what happened to force Kenny into a worse spot than TJ, because TJ pulled Lancer and said, I'll shoot for you.
I think Kenny initially wanted to go wide on TJ with his right hand, but TJ outplayed him by going to the inside, and he got a little bit of damage on Kenny's teammate. I believe that was Sales towards the mid door, and that really where was Lava, where things started to trickle down. Okay, it's flowing all right. But as he turns around, he has another opponent, repositions a solid L trigger.
Hey, wait a minute.
But I love how he's holding his corners. He's not giving it up completely. And he comes away with the 3rd. Lava can't get the 4th. But it's a 2v1. Kenny's holding his shot. He says, Rocky, go wide. I got you. The damage is there. He says, okay, I'll do it. I'll go wide. I'll take care of it. Rocky gets down, but Kenny, he'll get the kill. And going back a few seconds to Lava in his escape, he's running, turn around shot, hitting a cover, turn around shooting. He's like, don't chase me, I'll put out that damage, punishing his opponent as he should, rather than just not having that intel. He made them earn that kill.
How unselfish was Cells right there, knowing that Lava's still getting his health back, sees the revive is coming and says, look, I'm going to kill the player that can shoot you quicker. I'm going to make sure he gets chunked out, so it's a perfect trade. We're going to get 2, and they're only going to get me for 1.
Very selfless, and he had a lot of faith in his teammate to pull that play off. In round number 7, as Northern looking good to tie the series up 1-1, but it's not over yet. First blood for Lava in this round. Traded out by TJ. TJ gets 2. Power says, Lava, you got to shut down. Get out of here. 3v1 all up to Rocky. A power weapon specialist in his own right. Powers. He holds. I love how he held that. Rocky misses the back 8 that he needed, and Powers has all the intel to give to his team. An active coming up soon, but you can't reload. Oh, he did get it. The drop shot dodge. Oh, it was not dodge, but that was not an active, and that splash damage came out a little bit later.
Something that I have loved is watching certain guys that have gone back and played older Gears titles. Like Powers has, as of recent, he's played a lot of Gears UP where they don't. A lot of Gears 2. He doesn't have that slide cancel, and it's been throwing a lot of his contemporaries off, where he'll actually just take a cover. He'll slide to it. They're expecting him to bounce, expecting him to do something crazy like they're used to seeing him do. Yep. And he just takes the cover, holds his shot.
Keep it simple. It ain't that complicated. All right, just hit your shots, dodge your opponents in. If you're already good on your positioning, you know, you're accurate, you don't need all the fancy movement. But You know, I
And he
love
gets down.
Powers learning that strafe. Yeah, he got crossed out outside by TJ, but a quick revive coming through. 4v4 situation on the map. Powers with the bow. Kenny with the drop shot. Former teammates. He threads that needle over the top. I thought I saw a spark come off the concrete right there.
He was trying to light a fire. He kicked some tires, got that kill. That was a hell of a thrill. What a way to just slide that thing over the middle of the defense. That was like trying to thread a needle over a middle linebacker and hit a soft fade into a wide, baby. Come on now.
Any higher, Colin, they see that drop shot. Can they avoid it? Not sure, but you definitely see it and have a better opportunity at it.
You understand it's coming.
Kenny didn't give him that opportunity. So 4v3 on the map for Northern. And looking at their positioning, hey, they're looking good. They got eUnited backed into a corner. Now, eUnited has some space down low, but they're going to have to get out of there in a second. It's up to Powers to make a play. He still has all 5 bowls. It's inactive there, and a player across from him. You know, I don't know if Fatal Strike has taught him any ricochets there from the reciprocity days, but he probably could have banked it off that wall and stuck him in the toe.
That would have been hilarious to see if he could have done it there. Active over the top. 30 seconds left. I think a shot grenade went off outside to get that player off of the sandbags. Powers have been called out. Active in.
Oh,
a little
short.
No shot will connect. But I believe he has a chance to get the secondary drop shot pick. He's already out there. Demise has, there's 2 bows. There's 2 bows now in the side of eUnited. Demise, he's going to drop one at his feet and get killed after he drops down. This is going to be Rocky 1v1. Rocky in a 2v1, but the hill's going to spawn up in a second. That's going to come out. Power's going to rotate in. First bow miss. Drop shot connects to kill them both off. And that, ladies and gentlemen, puts Northern Forces 1 round away from a 1-1 map count.
Yeah, Kenny won't get credit for those 2 kills. The round ended right as they came through, I believe. Nonetheless, I love how they just kept up top control for the drop shot. And they played the strategy of saying, hey, if you guys are not going to push us, we will get 4 drops. And if we miss 4 drops, we deserve to lose. But you're going to have to come uphill. We'll be gatekeeping, looking for at least one of those kills. And I think they played it fantastically. And TJ, no help again. Well, I'll take that back. Demise will back up with him. He says, you okay? You okay, dog? I'm here for the revive. But now we got to get out of this difficult spot. Maybe Powers can help us. He can.
Rocky was in a spot where he might have been able to shoot or challenge Powers, but when he rotates to that side of the ledge, he puts his teammate in the worst position possible, and now Powers is going to kind of have his way around that cubby corner toward the ledge. He's actually going to push out toward Kenny and that drop shot, looking for the angle on him out at the back of the parking lot. Lancer fire in. He's going to get missed by that first one. The Lancer fire is through and true, though. They get the down with an Asher. They get to clean up cells. Excuse me. Rocky will go down to cells, but Rocky does get a kill. 2v3 on the map right now with 1 bolt left in favor of Powers, but TJ's now got 2 rockets in his pocket.
Yeah, 2 big rockets at that. I don't know if Sales can dodge all this firepower, but hey, he is explosive, and we know his favorite anime character as well, so we'll see if he has what it takes to get it done. All right, eUnited stacked up in the parking lot. They are going to be gatekeeping, protecting that new drop shop off the respawn, so they're going to have some patience. 2 and 6. You know, as far as Powers having these bowls, I'm not sure how Rocky can kind of push him out this position, but I would love for Rocky to start some commotion, right? Try to see if another eUnited member will leave that parking lot to go over here and help Powers open up the door for Sales and an opportunity.
Good night.
The flank from Powers, too, as well. Well timed. You could tell that everyone was on the same page about acquiring that kill, and now only 1 player left. eUnited, you're good to get this 4th round.
You got to close things out, Northern Forces. You're up 5-3 at this moment. You cannot give up 3 straight rounds over to eUnited in this situation, but they give up the first one. eUnited has to still be perfect for 2 rounds in a row. Blaze, something I want to talk about, I want to highlight for our viewers at home, really, is that final kill that I said goodnight for. The drop shot over the top is a lot of damage. It doesn't get the kill, but it's a ton of damage. But the sheer fact that Powers gets the call out, I'm shooting it now, knows to rotate to his 90 and cut off any escape route. Those are the things that make good execution teams great, because it ensures they are now continuing to keep their numbers advantage, whether it be a 4v3 into a 4v2 or a 3v2 into a 3v1.
2v2 here in the parking lot. The battle for drop. Powers already has the bow. Even though he's being contested, he should be able to kind of back out and rotate out the situation. He's flanking everyone. Lava and Kenny both have downs, but those kills haven't come through. Powers on the flank. Who can you get? So many targets. Give him 1. Who's next? Sales? What? Oh, whoa! We rarely see those type of misses, but we'll see. Can he make up for it? 2v2. Oh! Oh, he gets around the corner!
The pistol whip, I thought it was going to stun him long enough, but it's a 2v1. Reset.
Kenny, he's in there.
Kenny's reset. He's allowed Cells to rejoin the fight. Cells gets the final down. There's the kill, and Northern Forces, they tie it up 1-1. It's Cells. He's letting him have it. Didn't go with the full white button, but had to beat his brakes in just a little bit.
Yeah, United fans, I know most of y'all thought it was going to be a 3-0, but come on, the man on your screen, he's won your championships already. He's done a lot of good for you. You can never bet against him. We're all tied up 1-1 between Northern Forces and eUnited. And when we come back, we're heading into map number 3, Vascar Escalation, to see who can get the leg up in this series. Summer Major. We are halfway in our series between eUnited versus Northern Forces, and guess what? We're all tied up 1-1. As Colin, Northern, hey, they struck and they let eUnited know that they're here to play, but I think the toughest task is coming up next.
Yeah, they're going to have a tall task in front of them. I'm going to look back for just a moment while you watch the highlights on your screen, hit you with some stats. Y'all know I love that.
Yeah.
Played 10 rounds. eUnited, they get 3 first bloods to Northern Forces 7 first bloods. But by the way, Northern Forces only won 6 rounds, which tells you at the home that Northern Forces was the only squad that gave up one of their first blood rounds. They only converted 6 out of 7. That's about an 85% conversion rate. Whereas every time eUnited got a first blood, they converted it. This is still my favorite play. There was some air there, all right?
Yeah.
There was some air there, goalie. Fix that, voice of God. You can't let my man Kenny get pistol whipped like that in the middle of the street.
Man, look at that, boy. But the sales help comes through. I missed it in the last round. Powers on the flank, and who took him out there on the flank, but I thought he was going to be able to make it around the corner in time to get there to his teammate. Nonetheless, Northern, they come out on top. So Vaskar escalate.
By the way.
It was Sales? Okay. Yeah, Sales. He got that, and he got over the
So when he missed the torque bow, Sales still had 1 rocket. He drops the rocket at Powers. He doesn't kill him, but he damages him up enough and then engages in that 1v1, while Kenny is basically engaging a 2v1 with a meat shield for one player, gets the down, finishes the down, and then, I mean, from me to you, gets pistol whipped. You know, my man had arms. He had, oh, God. Oh, God.
The reach on that thing right there.
Had length on that
And you know what the
stuff.
thing is? Like, the meat shield was like this, and Kenny was going this way. He was like, where you going?
He hit him with a bonk. He was like, bonk. No running for you. You can't reset
no
this fight.
whatsoever. So, yeah, got out of a difficult situation right there for Kenny, but great teamwork between him and Sales. But yeah, so Vaskar escalation. Now, we like to call this map the horse track, okay? Because it's a constant rotation around, because it's our only asymmetrical map that we have in our cycle. And as Ryan said before, none of us expected it to last, to stand a test of time as Foundation did in Gears of War 4. But I think we'll start seeing a lot more of it now. We haven't seen much of it during the Pro League, but this is one of those maps like Canals where it's a simple map, but it could be complicated. It could have a lot of depth depending on the team that's playing it. And you don't want to show all your strategies every single week on it, right? So maps like these can be curveballs and some money tournaments, because you really have to be a talented team to be successful. And we'll be able to show you guys some of those highlight moments and keys to success as we watch 2 of these awesome teams play.
I was going to say Vaskar to me, while I call it the horse track, Vaskar to me is like a good lasagna. You can have just a straight up lasagna. You can get 5 cheese lasagna. It's all in what you put into the map. You might get out of the map. Rocky, who took the B hill, has rotated all the way across the map now over to eUnited to try to just get that neutralization, keep the pressure on them, keep them running around the map.
And I do want to say, like you said, I agree with the food analogy. I got to comment on it, okay? It don't matter what you put on it, as long as it got layers, you feel me?
And there's
as long as it got
this,
layers on it.
There are layers to this. Kenny Bounce tries the challenge out toward TJ here at the arrivals. TJ's going to play all the way back, making sure that he is safe and sound for now. 2 players in front of him, only 1 player on the opposite side of the map. They are waiting for the re-rotation, the respawn of Rocky. Right here, Blaze, is where things get a little interesting, because eUnited's going to be able to swing their defense in one shape or the form or fashion. Dyslexic is playing back up that stairwell for the sheer fact that he can roll out into the middle crater and go to wherever the fight might need him.
And you see Demise with a nice little cross, but he tells his teammate to get out. We'll let them have that hill, and we'll cut across map and get some advantage on C. We're seeing that, but this is going to be hard, right, to decap the home hill, especially with 2 players back there. But the flash is going to connect, and they push on through. Will the rotation make it there fast enough? Well, Kenny's going to have to rotate out. Demise gets caught, and you see the horse track. We're going counterclockwise right now around the map, as Northern will take eUnited's home hill, and they'll lose theirs throughout the process. But the scary part is, and the punishment is having to cross through your opponent's spawn, right? You got players spawning up, but you are as good as a free kill to them. So you got to be careful and understand the timing of the map. Sales in his 1v1, well, more like a 1v2.
1.5.
Yeah, 1.5, right, with that support in the back. Kenny couldn't get there in time, and he may suffer the same fate.
Kenny's trying to go super wide here. TJ's hit him with a decent amount of damage. Rocky tries to rotate up. 3rd player into the fight now, into the area for eUnited. They don't have the chance to link up on that hill just yet, maybe get that cap on. Could be a 3v3 here, but you're going to have to stretch. You got to keep the blood flowing if you're Northern Forces, because the second you settle in with your tea kettle is when eUnited's going to be striking at the iron, because this is going to be TJ backside of the tank in a 3v1. And eUnited, they took their forces all the way to the sea hill. They didn't even wait around.
Nah, they wasn't playing. He says, hey, if y'all want to fight, you can, okay? We'll set up hold 2. Kill him if you can, but by the time you rotate the map, he's coming off respawn, okay? We see the kill comes through. Player 5 says, I gotta hop the middle. I'm not going through. Player 7 goes down. 8's gonna hop the middle as well. They're not gonna cross that cog spawn. They'll gatekeep to the B hill, take a 1v1. But in this situation, you need more, right? You need to go, you need to take your fights. And player 1 ran right past him. He says, I'll go to B. And even so, eUnited wins the fight on the home hill at C. So they'll be okay to lock this round in soon.
Yeah, they're going to get the decaps everywhere. They're going to get the retakes everywhere as well. eUnited played this first round extraordinarily well. They are just a little bit quicker to the punch than most teams. And I actually think this is probably the battle of two people that have been probably the best at Baskar in our history. Because Kenny, along with Explosive, had that perfect tournament where they won 16 maps, didn't drop a single one.
Yep.
Baskar was a map that team specialized in. Vic was also on that squadron.
Yes, he was.
Powers before that was with Reciprocity, who used to be incredible at this map with, oh, by the way, Kenny. So probably the two most successful players in Gears 5 at Baskar are now trying to butt heads and come out on top against one another in this situation. The only missing piece from that entire equation, it might be the fact that, you know, Franchise might have taught them everything they knew about this match.
You got no friend, no explosives, no rushies, no mental, none of it, okay?
No praise.
You just got your teammates and great teammates at that. Hopefully, they're able to catch that same flow as the former historic squads of Reciprocity eUnited. You're going to see a 2v1 press coming out from eUnited as they'll take their opponent's home hill. Lava couldn't get there in time, and he's got to deal with Powers, and I'm pretty sure he's getting flanked soon. What a down if the flank didn't come in. But Kenny can get the save, but he'll get Lava's kill at least and get himself a 1v1. Nice flash. Decent shot. The back A wasn't as good as he wanted, but he can stay in a fight. He can stay in this fight.
That backslide was so good by Dyslexic. That extra damage he put back onto Kenny was incredible. He calls into the hill just to threaten the triple cap, but he was already down and almost out. This is going to be one of those situations now where, once again, eUnited is well in the driver's seat. They're in the fast lane. They can take whichever exit they wish to because they are up decent and they have such a big map to rotate around upon. It's going to be a 2v3 over here because player 5 Rocky has not yet made his decision. He's decided to put his hand in his ring.
With eUnited being up, you know, they can, you know, take the fast route to these hills. Hell, they can take the back road if they want because they got that time for rotation. They can use that exit towards the mid-map and be able to flank if they need to. Big kill coming out from Demise, has support from the left from TJ. The duo able to clean up 2, acquired a B hill. And I don't see eUnited really moving from this position unless they are threatened at the B hill by these 2 players coming off the respawn. But I think they need to help their own teammates, right? Can Lava stay composed with cells? The 2 of them getting pinched, getting angled, look a little desperate, and now eUnited can put a little bit more pressure towards the spawn and force these players to have to come out if they choose to. Instead, they'll just guard the B hill. TJ gets there at the right time. Even though the decap came through, eUnited has control. As you said, they can take whatever exit they want.
Blaze, I gotta go back and talk about it again. When eUnited has this many proficient 1v1 players, and it's only 4v4, someone from Northern Forces is gonna have to win a big 1v1 to put pressure onto the side of eUnited. Hey, look, he was just checking what supplies were left from that helicopter. He was just making sure that it had been looted already. See, he said, nope, nothing got left in here. No ammo crates in this helicopter for me.
And I say nerd in the most positive sense right there, okay? That is a beautiful tactic to dodge those flashes and get right back into the fight. The shot on the hill won't be enough as C hill. Whoa, A hill, I mean. Yeah, no, it's gonna be the C hill. Definitely the C hill. A for now. But who's gonna double back to C? Like, player 7 needs to leave his teammate in a 1v1. Like, you can't go help him. But you got to. You got to.
That's the thing that worries me, is just how good eUnited is on this map, because nobody's beating these guys in consistent 1v1s right now. The only team that's able to do it is Rise, and that's because Rise isn't giving them the 1v1s that they want. And Rise has 4 phenomenal 1v players anyway, with Rush, Avexis, Inzem, and Detox. That's why that's such a good heated matchup, such a good heated rivalry. In this situation, I just look at what Northern Forces, has to work with, and I'm like, who are you putting out there? Who is the guy that's going to take that fight and win it? Is it Cells? Because if you take Cells out of that fight and put him in the 1v1, now you don't have a main Slayer to play up in front of a Lava or a Kenny. You going to take Rocky and put him over there? Well, maybe you put Rocky over there, but then you take Rocky away, who's a great rotational leader. He's a good front leader guy. So
that's why you got to know how to do everything.
Yeah.
You got to be ready. You got to be comparable in all skill sets, capable in all skill sets right there, because if not, your team is going to have to be forced into a different play style, okay? Teamwork makes this dream work. Don't get me wrong. But we've seen a lot of people, a lot of individual players say, forget your team. I don't give a damn about what y'all practice. I don't care how good your communication is. I'm good for 2 every single time. Here we go into the next round, and we'll see 2 players bled out there towards the B hill. Northern Forces. This will be a big domination if it can come through for them. But at a certain point, you're going to have to press forward. Sales can't in this position. He's waiting for this Lexic to lead because he has that retro. He finally gets the opportunity. Demise. That was Powers with the shot over top. Beautiful. And then Demise. This Lexic against Sales. No Demise just yet, okay? But I'm feeling Demise is going to make a play.
They've taken over the home-to-home Blaze, and now the B hill, it's the only hill left to be defended by the side of Northern Forces, and the lead's not that big. So if I'm Northern Forces, you put player 3 Demise in that swing defense position between the helicopter and the arrivals. You leave Powers right there as the front line of your defense, and you just force Northern Forces to make a play. You force them to make the best decision possible.
Side note, you know, I love casting in person so we can read the yeah, you know, it's just it's the little things, right? COVID casting. It was great, you know, don't get me wrong, but this just feels like home, okay? And I get to mess with you, okay?
Yeah, you get to mess with me the whole time.
Yeah,
Look, that's why I was trying to be too big for my britches. I didn't have nobody messing with me until I got back out here in the studio. I mean, you saw me casting by myself in this room a few hours ago. I was way too big for my nonsense.
Well, speaking of bullies, well, we just saw eUnited bully a few players there towards the B hill, and as they continue to put pressure on this matchup for Northern Forces. Look at the cross there towards the spine. These players can't do anything. Rocky desperate. C Hill will be captured, but we'll see how long Northern can hold their home hill. I think eUnited will let them have it in this situation. Colin, oh, the hill gets broken. I know you don't like too many kills being left on the ground, but I guess they just assumed that player was going to crawl and decap. Granted, something small in this scenario, but could it multiply into something big? You see, Cell's able to move up and get that kill because that player from eUnited was lacking a little bit of speed. But will it be enough? 2v1 down low, 2v2 up top. Decap the hill, get your team a few extra seconds, 10 more added to the board. But is it enough? I think it is enough. I think it is.
Triple cap domination.
You gotta melee one of these guys.
1 second left. Not gonna come through in time for the side of eUnited. They dropped their first round. eUnited kind of boils down to like one big fight on this map. If they win that one big fight, they just kind of force you to play offense the rest of the game. They're not going to continue to take these fights to rotate around. They'll be more than happy to come off a spawn and try to pressure you back. But once they win that one big team fight, they get a point lead. They're more than happy to roll back, play a solidified defense, and then got a guy in swing that can go back and forth.
I agree with that. Like,
put down a power weapon, eUnited.
The last few seconds of that one was just, you look at eUnited on the minimap, it's like, oh my God, you know, they just got these 2 kills in a spawn. They're about to have a great spread, but the decap comes through, forces them back, gives up free space to Northern Forces, all because one player chose to not give up and crawl into the hill and break it, right? Yeah. They got the map control that they needed to win a 2v1 fight and then win a 2v2 fight up top. Always play to the whistle. You're going to see First Blood going in favor of eUnited. They should be able to get control over this B hill without any issues. Kenny knows it's going to be a tall task, and he'll just put himself in a position to get out to safety and help his teammates elsewhere on the map. He'll be at eUnited's home hill trying to break the C hill, but as you got a few players coming off respawn, and this Moltok in the hands of this Lexic. Oh, man. Oh, put 2 shots on Kenny. And Kenny goes down in the back. 2v2 fight as they back up. Kenny needs to get res, so a 2v1 on the hill as this Lexic with 2 quick shots makes quick work of Cells. Lava, he's wide. Rocky, 1v1 on the opposite end against TJ. TJ says, what you doing? Lancer Fire's coming in. The pinch is on. The hills are being capped. eUnited, they're looking to come through and get this victory. 6. Cells comes in, gets the decap, and we will continue with this round.
Cells, good job here playing the hero, getting that decap, and then gets the kill on the Powers. Beautiful job holding the shot to kill that player. right there at that cubby corner, and that's going to be Cell sitting down to the B hill, looks up to the Dyslexic to the top side of the ledge. Get some shots onto him. The pressure coming into the A hill now. Dyslexic is keeping that ledge in his grasp to try to fend off the retake from Northern Forces over here. Lancering straight toward the big stairs. Device is going to go down. TJ as well. Both of those players are caught out. Cells is going to try to engage his 1v1, but gets shot in the 6 o'clock and goes down. And that opens up the floodgates. eUnited, they're going to try to fly everywhere around the map to make things a little bit more hectic, a little bit harder on Northern Forces, who have gone for the home-to-home stretch.
Okay, eUnited. Now, where do they want to get the break at? Of course, they're going to get toward their home hill and get that one decapped. They'll have 3 players in this area of the map momentarily. Now, Northern, they call in for a third. Will he make it in time? He shall. Cells gets the down on Demise, and he'll join the cavalry to get to the C hill. Strong eUnited defense with the Boltok in hand, but it won't be enough damage outputted by this Lexic to get the kill you need to make it a 2v2. Instead, the home hill will transition. The B hill will stay in favor of eUnited. Player 4 on this flank through mid-map. Oh, great position. He's already behind. Did Lava see him? Lava, he got tagged. Another tag. Where's the Lancer fire at? There it goes. Cells goes down. Lava tries to get in for the revive. And they will be able to get the kill on TJ successfully getting into the hill, but Dyslexic can't make it in time to get there towards Demise, but he can break the hill. His teammate flanks behind him, and you would have thought they spawned on the opposite side, but Powers, double Boltok headshot. He gets the third, and the C hill stays in favor of eUnited just right after they lose 2 members on their team. That was a great opportunity for Northern to get an important round, but Powers goes huge.
Hey, let me see that scoreboard at the end of this round, Blaze. I got a sneaky suspicion. I've got a nice little stat to kind of tell everybody at home, just to let you in on a little secret about how good our professional players are, ladies and gentlemen. Through 4 rounds of competitive execution over on the side of eUnited, you've got 3 players all sitting at like the 13 to 15,000 damage range. And even if you take it down to the 13 across 4, you're looking at just about 4,300 damage around. That tells me that Northern Forces is having to fight from behind every time. Look at the difference in just damage differential right now.
Even
6
assists.
and 10, 3 and 12, 7 and 8, 2 and 9. The only person with double-digit assists is Rocky. He's doing everything to help his teammates, but up here, 10, 15, 17. They are out there working as a singular unit. eUnited wants to shut this down now. The hope that Northern Forces got off of map 2, they're trying to snatch souls at this point.
Yeah, they truly are, okay? Because eUnited, a fantastic control team, and an amazing ritual control team, which is coming up with map number 4. Northern, they have to get to this map number 5 execution. I feel like if they want a chance of taking this series, but they got to take the escalation to get to that map 5, I feel. So right now is not looking good for them, but let's see how can they dig deep. How can they get themselves further in this series and get a leg up? Well, we're about to find out what can they come up with. Can he take down Dyslexic and force Powers back away from his team's home hill? And Northern has a fantastic setup. They can just gatekeep the F hill, get that third play over there, get the damage, and kind of like have a tug of war battle there for that F hill with eUnited. Now, as we'll start to see, multiple smokes coming out, the shocks coming out as well. Here we go. The damage is in, but it's going to be eUnited coming out victorious as they'll find the 2 downs on the outskirts. Northern, they can't get the kills that they need. There's a big revive. That's 2. The meat shield is in. That's a great double kill to not allow eUnited to get too much positioning on the map. Northern can absolutely still hold 2 hills as they wait for their teammates off the respawn. They should come up quicker than those last 2 eUnited members that died.
That's a great shot by Kenny, and now Kenny has the help of Dyslexic. He's going to go down, but it's taking so long to get that kill that Cells is here at the arrivals, might get trapped between a rock and a hard place, and he does. Powers over here might go for a sneak kill, but they know where Powers likes to sit. We saw that a few weeks ago in Pro League. Powers sat in the same spot and got a sneak kill, leading to a double. That is just sheer VOD review. That is just sheer watching your opponent's tendencies.
Understanding them and being able to make those call-outs in these pressure moments. Remind your teammates, hey, check the off corners. You know these players like to hide. You know how sneaky they are, especially with Dyslexic on their team. We know he know all the spots in the game. Northern looking good to get another round on the board, and an important one.
Oh no. Oh no.
The splash is coming out. The damage isn't quite there for Rocky just yet. But a Lancer out to a shotgun. The wrong weapon as Dyslexic will press above him to get that down. Still full. A double down. Kenny left him a little bit too soon, but I think Kenny needs to get another revive on the opposite side. And it's going to be eUnited just pressing through.
They got one player left between them. Cancell's in victory right now. Cancel stay alive long enough to keep them in the driver's seat here because the decap is in, and that's enough to get you the victory. Even if they were to come off and clean sweep United, there's too much time wasted off the board. Another round over to United, 4-1 now. And Blaze, you can't stay on the bottom of those stairs.
You can't.
You're going to get shredded. You get that kill on Powers, play to the right side. Play to the back of that kill.
Play at the cover right behind that, if anything, but you cannot play under those stairs. You'll never have a clean fight with someone having an L trigger above your head that closely. So I agree with you. Bad positioning from Rocky in that situation. And it was a situation where their opponent had to play into him. So don't play that close, you know? His Botox wasn't hitting, his flashes wasn't connecting the way that he needed to, and eUnited found every opportunity. Now, will you get your power weapon, Colin? Maybe.
Please? No. No, we're not going to get it. It'll be retro. No, are we? Oh, my God. Oh, my God, please. Drop shot? It's going to be long shot.
Hey, there's something.
I would have tried the drop shot just for the sheer fact that if you lose this, you're not giving Powers, Demise, Dyslexic, or TJ a long shot to use for the rest of the round. You take 2 drop shots over the 6 shots possibility from a guy like Powers, who could convert that easily into 6 kills. You come into this next round. Big team fight at the tank is about to break out. Flash grenades by both teams. And an early shock will block Lava from being able to help Rocky, really.
Yeah, it will. The revives are there, but Rocky will step up for a kill. The Flames block those players from taking their wide right angle, having to play inside. Big revive there, but still the help can't really get around the tank. It comes in just a bit late. Powers will choose to get away. Last man standing, looking for help from his teammate. Oh, this is good for him. Everybody's playing on that. Oh my God!
One more Powers.
Your MVP!
Don't do it to him. Don't do it to him. Hits him with that little body shot. He gets the Lancer help from the right, and that's
enough. That's enough.
How does he stay alive long enough to not only get 2 kills, but allow his first friend to get back into the fight
and get one himself? You know what? Like, when a play like that happens against you and your squad, it's super demoralizing when you work so hard to win the initial, well, almost win the initial, right? And now you're going to give one of the best snipers in the game his favorite weapon. And as you say, Colin, he knows how to, you know, take those 6 shots and turn into 6 kills. Even if he's connecting with body shots and putting out damage for his teammates in fights, he's always looking where he needs to go, and he's at the highest point of the map. Multiple sight lines for Powers to work with, and currently defending his home hill. But as soon as Demise, and I do believe that's going to be TJ on the opposite end, as soon as they get pushed, Powers will have multiple angles to help them. Cells get connected, and now he's relaxing. Powers knows at this point all the pressure's on the other side of the map, so he's getting ready. Oh, who you want? You can have whatever you want, man.
Nope, he doesn't.
He don't even need to shoot it. Okay, he don't even need to shoot it. What you want, man? You can have whatever you want.
I ain't never in my life heard a spotter be looking through his binoculars. Go, you ain't even got to take a shot. Don't worry about it. You ain't got to put. Don't do it.
You know, you're good. Just stay lined up. Control
Rocky, oh God, Dyslexic force sells to chase him into the hill, and then turns around and gets a single shot kill. I mean, after all that beautiful initial damage by the side of Northern Forces, getting the first couple of kills, it was literally Powers just kicked the table over. He just flipped the entire table on its backside, allowing them to be in a power position to win that final round and to win map 3, 5-1 place. So now they go up 2-1 in the series, going into Ritual, which might be their best map.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And, you know, when it comes down towards escalation, I always talk about the skill sets and what you need, right? The teamwork, the rotations, but also escalation will get your squad warmed up for a control map. Even if you play one early on, just because of the skill sets that you need there in that game mode, right? So eUnited, they're going to be ready to go here on control. Their setups look good. You know, the team fighting was great. We knew that in map number 1, but it just got, you know, reconfirmed for us in map number 3 with this Vascar. And I don't know what Northern's going to have to do. I think they need some great power weapon plays at this point. You need to be able to figure out how to get those multi-kills, you know, if you can't get it every single time with the guns on your back.
I mean, it's going to come down to, once again, they're going to have to make and win big team fights over the Torque Bow, because now you go into a map with a Torque Bow that TJ is extraordinarily talented with, Power is extraordinarily talented with, Dyslexic. It's everybody on eUnited has the ability to use those marksman weapons, those Torque Bows, those long shots so efficiently that if you're Northern Forces, you can't let them get consecutive pickups on the power weapon, because it will lead to you losing consecutive hill timers. That thing was still nasty. I mean, that thing has stank on it. That thing was so nasty.
Oh, man. You know, you're going to see Powers with these body shots. Damage. Just good damage. Okay? You don't always got to be a headshot in these situations. You just got to put some pressure on your opponents. And that's exactly what that body shot will do. 5-1 here for eUnited in map number 3. And they are cruising in this series. I'm happy to see Northern fight as hard as they do in the execution, but we know that execution is not what's going to win you a tournament every single time.
Take a look at this. TJ with 26 assists, the 17 there. So you're looking at 43 across the two of them. You add in the 15, you get up to 58. And then you add in that 13, you get up to 71 assists. 71 assists, well over 80,000 damage across 4 players in 6 rounds. Take that 80,000 divided by 6. I'm not that good at quick math chat. It's up to you. You got to let me know. That still seems like a big number. If I had my notepad in my hand, I could probably do it, but I'm not going to do that right now. Yeah, I'm not going to do it. I'm not gonna do it.
You know what? But hey, I'll tell you one thing that we don't need a notepad to understand. Even looking at that scoreboard, you talked a lot about how individual players need to step up and get those kills. We saw Kenny and Sales trying to do that constantly, okay? It's a big reason why you don't see a lot of assists on their side, okay? Because they were taking and challenging those big 1v1s that they needed to win to put their team in that position to get those trip cap dominations. And in the end, it shows in the scoreboard that they lost a lot of 1v1s against big-time players right there. And at that point, once the pressure's on Northern, you really got to come out and win those team fights, and it just was not looking good.
It's one of those situations where if you're Northern Forces, you understand the position you've been put in, that you're down 2-1 now. You got to go into their best map, beat them on home field advantage for eUnited, and then you got to win a map 5 execution. I believe I wrote it down earlier. I'm going to have to look at it again. I'm saying it was checkout. So, yeah, even if you win this one, you go to checkout.
And you know how TJ played checkout, right? But you know what?
You know that meme of a lady like this just staring off into this? Is this me looking for their win condition? Where's their win condition? I'm just staring. I'm trying to see it way off in the distance.
Where is it?
Because I can't find it right now. I love you guys. I love you, Dad, but I don't see this happening right now.
Yeah, man. And if they do get to the map 5, it's a Sales versus TJ matchup on the platform. That's what it is, okay? I lean a lot into Sales on these execution maps for Northern Forces. And for more, he came through on map number 2. He truly did, okay?
Yeah, he
can come through on map
really
number
good.
5 as well. But you got to get there, all right? And I'm excited to see how Northern's going to get there. I think that they got the players to do it, but now you got to show it to us, okay? We could talk about the Gears fundamentals. We could talk about the rotations, but if there's anything that we know is that you're going to have to go up on eUnited and win those battles. You got to force them into some uncomfortable team fights. Once the defensive setup comes through, at that point, you start staggering some kills, focusing on players. Just because your setup is there does not mean you and your squad should stop being proactive and looking for 2v1 and 3v2 and 4v3 scenarios in those moments. You're counting numbers and waiting for your opponent to come to you, but at some point, you got to put your lantern away and say, hey, I'm coming to help you, man. We got to get this kill quick. Everybody play back. We're coming to help y'all as well. But if they can do that, they'll put a lot of pressure on eUnited and get a lot of the time off the hills that they need on Ritual.
I also think that when you look at Ritual as a map, that first altar fight usually is indicative of what team is going to play a little bit harder for that Torque Bow, and then you go into that P2. I know that Northern Forces are going to be smart enough that if they lose that first altar team fight, they're going to rotate straight across the top of the map and try to take over the P2 section. So even if they lose the second retake, they'll probably spawn up over there, be ready to play some defense. My biggest cause to pause, and I hate to say it this way, are those 2 ledge hills. It's P3 and P5, those 2 bottom ledge hills.
Yeah, I like to call them. Oh, the bottom ones, okay.
because eUnited to me has done probably the best job of anybody on the pro circuit at holding those two ledges. When you have to come straight down either a small hallway or down that small set of stairs, you're running into the teeth of a defense that will absolutely shred you time in and time out. If you are somebody that plays Gears 5 a lot, if you play a lot of control, watch how eUnited plays those bottom two hills. Watch the way that they rotate around them, whether they drop a shock, whether they whether they drop a shot to the front side of the map or they drop somebody in that cubby. They play it so well, and especially around each other. You guys got to remember, when you roll out in rank, there's no team fire. There's no friendly fire. You can't flash a teammate. You can't snub him, lancer him, shotgun. There ain't nothing. These guys are so good that every flash counts, every snub shot counts, every nasher chunks. That's what makes this so impressive to me, is how clean sweep they are in their professionalism.
No, I agree with you on that one, Colin, wholeheartedly right there. You really have to go out there and work together as a squad, okay? You truly do. When it's all said and done, hey, we'll see how quick Northern can be when it comes down to taking these team fights. One thing that I really want to focus on is just, as we go into this map and we're loaded into it right now, how many attempts will they take at each hill, right? Because I don't think you should take more than 3 attempts at a hill, okay? If you lose that second one, give up whatever 20 points. You may give up 15, okay, after 2 team fights, 15 or 20. You got to accept that and put yourself in the best possible position to have that defensive setup we talked about before and get yourself a team fight win, okay? So, we'll see.
I always use it when those last 15 seconds or so kind of come to fruition that a team has to give up. I always kind of harken back to something I talk about when it's in golf, where you find yourself hitting a bad tee shot and you might be in the woods. I call it taking your medicine. You lose those 2 team fights, you take your medicine, you rotate out, try to get ready for the next retake. Blaze, we're sitting here watching about 20 seconds come off the clock on P1, and eUnited, they have settled their tea kettle into this P1 as well. They get the torque bow into TJ's hands. That's your favorite thing. It's not being here messing with me. It's that you can see when our observer's loading into the map.
Yeah. We don't know if it's coming. We actually get to see what is coming. TJ almost damaged himself with that torque bow, but Rocky and Lava back into the fight. First team fight won by eUnited. Now, as we're starting to see off this second rotation, Colin, we got Northern winning some big fights to get into the hill. And I'll credit them with being able to get some time. They won't get the spawn, but I'll credit them with that second team fight win, because it's not like they're coming out with nothing. But ultimately, the hill win is in favor of eUnited because they got the hill and they have the spawn. TJ, he's in a 1v1 at the nades. Cells has to get out. And did those nades ever get acquired? I don't think they got acquired by TJ, and Cells still working hard to get them. Ooh. Great double kill here from Sales, and that's the fight that Northern need now. As we take a look, it's a 4v2 on the map. They're trying to pinch these players up top. Demise goes down. Powers is still alive. He almost got the chunk in the back, but that's a team fight win for Northern. They'll have the spawns, and now they're trying to rotate to next, as they will be set up into the hill. It's a 3v3 on the map for now. I do believe eUnited has that intel, but what can they do with it? How are they going to be able to work those numbers? They're looking for the spawns, and player 5, he has to get there to him quickly.
Oh, Rocky gets that kill in the corner, and that's beautiful. I loved it. I laughed a second ago because they bounced up thinking Kenny was right in that cubby and try to get the shot over the top. Kenny's going to bounce wide here with Lava. The double shot kill. Lexi gets one, rolls up into the second one, gets the full spread, but Rocky's there for the save after the melee and the meat shield. Now Rocky rolling back. He's trying to just backstep toward Kenny to give himself a little bit of help. Pulls the Lancer, get another down onto him. Demise to the backside of the ledge here. Shots over the top, goes for the first wrap, can't get it to connect, gets a ton of damage, but no kill to show for it. And Northern forces right back in to the hill, have taken the lead here on P2. But eUnited, like you said, they've tried once, they've got the torque bow now. Do they try twice, or do they just simply rotate over to P3?
Rotate out. You don't give this hill another fight. You take the bow, you move on over towards the other side of the map, and you give up that scrap time, right? I talked about you may give up 15 to 20 seconds of scrap time, but what you gain is this positioning, and if your opponent is not in like a 50-plus, 60-plus point lead, depending on what portion of the game it is, this is still early game, you're absolutely valid to, be at a little deficit for the possibility of more on the next hill, for the possibility of that lead. Now, Powers has 4 bows left. He's going to get inactive knowing that some action is coming soon. Lava's marked. Everyone knows how he's rotating, and seeing those marks and how players are rotating gives your team a lot of intel on where majority of people are stacked up. They know that 3 members of Northern Forces will be at the skull side of the map at this P3. First bow miss, but the second miss. You're gonna have to move in. Misses the next. Teammates being lost one by one, but he pulls out the shotty, gets some damage on Lava, and he'll save this hill for his team.
3 torque bows missed. I'll take 1,000 for things I've never seen before, Blaze. That'll be something out of Powers I don't know if I've ever seen before.
Oh, that was Powers. Sorry, yeah.
That was I've never seen Powers miss 3 straight like that, especially that last one, that third one at that mid pillar where he had the quick active off. They get a good retake here. They only give up a few points to Northern Forces as this hill spawns up, but they are sitting at pretty now and waiting for the retake of Northern Forces. And Blaze, look at the way that you see Kenny moving in the middle of the map, but it's player 2 cells. He'll have a 1v1 for the close respawn, but the 1 bolt he needed to connect to shut down the next retake, he gets it to go on Rocky.
And yeah, Northern have to back up. Lava and Kenny can't do anything in this position. 2 former champions playing together. They know how it feels to be in a difficult spot, but do they still got some gas left in the tank to come out with some big victories? We're going to find out by the end of this series or by the end of the weekend. A big team fight won by Northern as they'll take down 3 members on the side of eUnited, 2 to be exact, and then 1 just came off that respawn. eUnited spawning far and far away from this hill. I take that back. United is on the hill as we're going down to neutral. You got Northern rotating around.
Throwing smoke.
Blaze, what do you think of the Powers player character pick? You know damn well that's a Kenny Bounce character model, and Powers has said, "Hey Kenny, look."
It's a slap pick. Oh yeah. He knew the type of message he was sending out. You know, we talked about it on Pro League, okay? It's like, oh, you always taking Myra away from me? Well, don't worry, I got her now, and I get to show you how to use her. Now, as you got eUnited getting some hill control, 65 points remaining. Their next goal should be to get the cog spawn, so they'll be in the best position for next. Yeah, you can see. Oh, okay. Rocky, be careful. Oh, you didn't hear me.
He should have said it louder, I think. Yeah. He was all the way in the back. He was all the way in the back.
Too far across the map, all right? So, eUnited feeling comfortable. 50 seconds till needs in Torque Bowl come up. But Northern have to do something to put some pressure onto them. I think they should be getting geared up for another team fight soon. At least contest, right? Because you can test the hill in corners like that one on the right. You force your opponent to have to come out and get you, but what a toe tag from Powers on that bow. Trying to get some splash damage. He'll get some shotty damage. Doing a great job shooting shots around his teammate as he's at the back lines, and that's what you got to do when friendly fire zone, folks. You can't be putting pellets in your teammate's back. But Powers will rotate around. Lava spots him, gives Kenny a warning. 13 seconds left. And Rocky took down Dyslexic for the spawns. Northern, I know they like that one.
That puts him in a great position to rotate toward next. Powers with that big kill on to, I believe, Lava. Demise getting Kenny, and now they're going to pressure forward, and that might get them the respawns, but sneaky cells. Player number 2, he's going to get 1. He's going to get both. Cell's got both, so he keeps the close respawn. The fight over the torque bow is ensued, though. TJ has it, and I think TJ's going to try to rotate out, but Lava, he's got the rotational flank now.
Multiple flanks and a big double kill from Sales, but even with the bow still up, you see a decent spread from TJ. He finds it out. He gets to his team. Even though the double kill came out from Sales, where's the control over the spawn? He gets over there to help his teammates out. The close spawn is still in favor of Northern, but where are the kills? The Lance of Fire will be able to assist, but it's going to be a 1v3 left as Kenny's going to run all the way back to the back portion of the map. He gets his team to close spawn. Great play, and now they can get right back into this fight.
Powers is up top of this ledge, and these are the 2 hills that I was talking about. The one that they had previous opposite side of the map for this one, and now this one. They're extraordinarily good at holding these hills for quite some time. Kenny's going to go down. Cells dies as well. Rocky will try to get that down and try to clean it up now. Big rotational up A in from Powers. Finds the next down. That's 4th down and dead. They've held on to a decent amount of points in this map. I can tell you, they started off that hill with 120. They're up to 165 out of the 70 points, so at least 40. So over half of the points have gone the way of eUnited at that point.
Okay, eUnited making great pace at winning this series on this map. We'll see if they can keep it up. And right now, I don't see what's going to stop them. Northern, what's going to stop them? Show me right now on the screen. They'll take down Dyslexic, but now they're going to have to shift over and make sure they control this spine. TJ will be squared up in a 1v1 up against Sales, as Sales puts out a lot of damage. TJ calls for help, and Demise says, don't worry, bro. You put up the bat signal. I'm coming. Now let's be a duo and try to push out this spine. We'll actually get the whole team here. Dyslexic and Powers will join the fight. Beautiful flash, but Sales missed the opportunity at a free shot. He gets one in, but the damage still comes through at the end of the day. Double down. Powers, where you're running. He'll get back to the mid-map, but for how long?
1v1 against Kenny here. Kenny gets some good tagging shots early, goes for the wrap-up A, and won't be able to get that one. Powers is going to be able to reset his health for a moment. Northern Forces have been in the hill for quite some time. They've got a decent amount of points already off of it. 40 more gets them into that 140, 150 area. You're going to see Kenny go down to the 1v1 of Powers. TJ's going to pressure into the hill against Lava. Lava's going to get 2v1 as Dyslexic rotates in from the right side. And eUnited, they send all 4 players to one side of the map. They bait Northern Forces to send 2 on the flank. They switch up the sides. They give the tournament and say, boys, we in the lead, and we going to make it even bigger with this trash time he doesn't give up over to us.
Hey, that trash time going to put him over that 200-point marker, and I do believe we will see all of it acquired, as we will have another rotation kicking up soon. You got Northern Forces surrounding the mid-hill. Kenny out wide against Powers. They're calling for help. Help comes, and man advantage Northern Forces, but what can they get from this? 4 seconds of scrap time on O's. Powers to spawn up right away to be able to help his teammates out. All right, Northern needs to get a good chunk of time off this hill. They need to win this fight. You got 2 bows to work with, Rocky. I want to see him get one and pull out that Lancer, pull out that pistol, try to damage up the rest of the players.
Torpo out. Doesn't hit the splash damage there. He rotates over the other side. Demise throws 1 frag. He throws the second fragmentation. The second one is too long. The first one was too short. Powers gets tagged. No, TJ got tagged there by the Torpo and ends up going down. Kills for Northern Forces abound. Here comes Powers to try to help it at 2v1. Helps Dyslexic get the first. Now they will rotate back to that cubby corner. A big amount of shots being put out in front of him by Lava. Look at that. My man is giving him a high five right now. They're talking about it. They have a little team huddle.
Now Powers goes down and a quick revive comes through. Kenny will get to the fight, getting some damage out with that Lancer. Lava looking for some help, looking for somebody to make a move, but he says, I'll make the first. Revive, the flank covered. The down, the chunk, no kills come through, and that's all 4 members of eUnited staying alive in that battle. Sales having to run away, but how far can he get away? Not too far. You even see how eUnited checks that corner like, we ain't gonna give you no free kills over here. Rocky has to back all the way up to try to get his team control over spawns as we move on over to P2 in our second rotation.
Blaze, I'm looking at this real quick as this hill gets kind of neutralized out. TJ versus Lava in a 1v1. They don't want to give up any more points in this situation. Lava's going to get rotated on. It's now a 2v2. Torpo is up. I believe a frag grenade got thrown to the backside of the altar. Second frag gets thrown at TJ. Gets some damage, but doesn't get a ton of kill potential on that fragmentation. Dyslexic over the top here against Cells in a 1v1. That's a big team fight. We got to pay attention over there because the Torpo is going to be spawned up. This is going to be Rocky here, rotating in. Powers going to try to go wide on him. They're trying to kill Powers. They're not giving up that new torque. That's what this whole engagement has been about. Northern Forces, they get into the next point. They're getting hill time, and they're getting the Torpo.
It'd be a tag game if they get all of these points, and they already have the bow. This is a great situation for them because, you know, if I got the bow on this map, this is the hill I want to protect because you got a lot of open sight lines there towards screen left and even towards mid-map. Powers, here's the bow revving up. Gonna make sure he gets out and successfully dodges it. I love the smoke play coming out from eUnited. One player presses through, only one though. The second comes in at the last second. The bow will miss. But I'm looking at where are the players on the edge with eUnited? Where are the Lancers? Where's the shotgun out? Trying to clean up these kills with players who have damage. And we see Cells spring into action. Kenny gets it down, but that's all he's going to get. No one's there to get the last and final kill that they need. And it will be eUnited with, what, 20 seconds of scrap time? 2v2 for next. A flash out. They'll stun 2. Another flash comes out. Lava was actually not stunned, and he'll be able to make a play. He sets Rocky up for success. Great Lancer fire coming in, too, as well from Kenny. All right, Northern, they're still in this map.
Yeah, they're still keeping it very close right now, Blaze, as this next hill will spawn up momentarily. You see, it looks like 45 seconds to go on that torque, so you got a
Nades
long
up.
way to go before the new torque boat, but the nades have been picked up by Demise, and next hill will spawn right now, ready for the next team fight.
All right, here we go. eUnited will wrap through the swarm spawn, and they'll take these 2 nades with them. eUnited on that, sorry, Northern Forces on that ledge needs to be careful from the eUnited nade. And I don't know if they have it. Lava is not giving up any intel. He's not moving. He says, yo, if you got the nades, toss it, and I'll make a move from there. Okay, let's see what you do, big fella. One is dodged. The second is connecting with Lava right through the smoke. Couldn't do anything about it. And now Northern runs into a flank in which they make quick work of. So Cells goes on offense knowing that they have an advantage for a few seconds. What can you do with that main advantage? Cells putting some damage on the play on the spawn, distracting him, giving his team a 3v2 into the hill. Demise gets 1, but that's it. It's just a down that Dyslexic can clean up. Northern in the hill, 2 more players remaining. Dyslexic taken out. Powers on the edge. He's out as well. Northern, they will cut the deficit once again as we move on over to P4.
This is much closer than I would have expected after, I believe it was P4 when it was about 75, or excuse me, after it was 172 to 86. There was about a 140 point to 16 point differential across about 3 to 4 hills in favor of eUnited, but they have been back into this time and time again.
Here we go. Sales, 2 bowls left. Demise gets caught in the back. Creates an opening for Northern Forces to get towards next. This, oh, almost called it. It looked like it was lined up. It looked good. Kenny, he's distracting 2 players for his team to move up, but was it a distraction or will it be a nuisance for the squad? They'll lose another member. Rocky having to be forced to fight and win a 1v1. If not, you're just waiting for the remaining 3 players to push in and take you out. But it's still going to be eUnited with hill control. They win the fights that they need. And this is the most important fight for Northern probably on this map coming up next.
Yeah, they've gotten it all the way back within a 30 or 40 point differential, but now with 25 seconds to go and 50 on the clock, there's double the amount of time left on the hill to win this map and this series than there is for Northern Forces. They got to start getting these neutralizations to go their way. Every time they step out of the hill, they get 1 step closer to defeat. Cells moves up to the mid lane.
Wow.
There's the kill with the fragmentation on
that.
Rocky. Cells stays alive, though, stays into the hill. They secure the kills. They have got some time to pick up here.
Honestly, I don't know how that nade killed Rocky, but he got the best finest team to act, okay? Because he needs to just have mid-map control. So he's back where he started at the right time, and he'll see Powers there, so he just gets the mark, holds the Lancer. The 3v3 fight at the hill is the most important, but it's neutralized. Oh, they don't want to fight. They don't want to clear that corner and scared of losing, but they're going to put a lot of pressure on Rocky and winning his 1v1, or at least being relevant on this side of the map. The bowl's coming up soon. And Northern is not going to clear this corner. They're not leaving this field. They should have been cleared this corner, Colin.
I love the fact that Northern realizes that they've got to try to get these kills to get some of the extra spacing to go in their favor. Get back up to that like 250 marker. They've stayed there long enough to keep eUnited from winning, but it's 285, 247. One more big team fight win could win eUnited this matchup, Blaze.
And eUnited will win it. His Powers doesn't miss any bows. That's 1. That's a double kill. A lot of damage on the 3rd. Kenny's weak. That should be it, Colin. No one in place for Northern Forces to do anything about it. Definitely no one in place. eUnited throughout 4 maps still win this series in a 3-1 fashion and remain undefeated in group play.
Blaze, I'm telling you right now, I'm looking here. It's points 3, 4, and 5 that won eUnited that map for me. Across points 3, 4, and 5, you're looking at a 142 to 22 point spread.
In both rotations?
No, I'm saying not in both. If you take a look at the early goings, look at this, 75 to 64, very close after P2, but it's a 45 differential to 0 after P3, 45 to 16, 52 to 6. It is a 142 to 22 point differential. I mean, They had such a big cushion. They could pick and choose whatever fights they wanted the rest of the map. They were well within the driver's seat.
And that's why we talk so much about the first 2-3 hills in a game, okay? Not finding yourself in a hole that you got to spend the entirety of the game digging yourself out of, but you may never get out of it, okay? eUnited, they lose within 100 points, okay? Yeah. So that deficit really was it just hurt them throughout the entirety of the map right there. And eUnited, they were comfortable as they had a lead. Even if they was only up by a few points, they knew that they could rotate early, get the power weapons, and get the fights that they wanted, that they knew Northern was having a hard time clutching up unless they clutched.
I was going to say, you look at what Northern Forces was able to do on that map. They didn't take a lot of 1v1s. They took a lot of team fights because they learned their lesson from map 3. We're not going to beat these guys in 1vs. We weren't able to do it in map 3. We weren't able to do it in map 2. Even though they won map 2, it was all based around their team fight ability. They come into this map 4, they use the wolf pack, they use the lancer, they use the snub. They made sure nobody went into a fight without their opponent being damaged up. It was picture perfect for Northern Forces to set themselves up to take this map 4 away and to get us to a map 5. eUnited just too strong in the end.
They says, nah, we're not going to give you the luxury of going back to execution. We're not going to give you all of that confidence. We'll take you down on control because we know that we are way better than you, okay? Way better than you on that map. And it shows, okay? Hey, the scores are there at the end of the day. eUnited looking comfortable. Northern Forces was the hardest competition in their pool.
Yeah, oh, without a doubt. Northern Forces is going to come out of that pool probably 2-1 now. They'll probably beat the other two teams. They lose to eUnited. We'll see them in bracket play, pretty much no doubt about that. eUnited, though, I think that's a good test for them. A really rough and rugged team, plays a lot of teamwork, has a lot of veteran leadership on that squadron. That's going to serve them leaps and bounds going forward because you're going to have a lot of teams. The Pioneers might play you in a 1v1 sector. Pioneers will give you the fights you want.
They would.
You think about Rebel, they're going to give you the fights that they want, that you want, where you're going to want those 1vs, talent versus talent. That will make a huge difference going up against Rise, which is our reigning defending champions, who aren't going to give you those fights. They're going to play a lot like Northern, but to a higher degree. Blaze, you know there's only one set of people that can break this down, though.
I truly do. And with that being said, analysts, what's up? What you got to say about this series? I know Fallout is going to let everyone else know a thing or two about those predictions. Am I right?
Nah, not right, Blaze. It's actually me. I'm here. And you know what? It wouldn't be a major if we didn't have to shift around talent, for Fallout. Hey, it's going to be fun. I'm here. We might have a surprise coming up in just a bit, by the way, replacing me. So stay tuned for that. But what a series that was, Ryan and Toby. eUnited, Northern Forces. No surprise. eUnited get the win. Honestly, to me, not a surprise it goes 3-1. Northern Forces, especially a major time. I wouldn't expect a Kenny-led roster to get 3-0'd. But it still is a big victory for eUnited nonetheless. Ryan, what did you take away from the series?
Yeah, that series went about like we kind of talked about in the pre-show, right? We knew this was a match that eUnited would be favored in. They would have the upper hand. They had their good maps. But Northern Forces, a team that's been here before, a team that has players that play their best at the majors, they stretched to a 3-1. And guys, that almost went to game 5, right? That control was very, very close. So eUnited did a good job closing that out. But that, everything, it goes in gears. All bets are off if it's game 5 execution. All the stats go out the window. Then it becomes about who clutches up. So eUnited, good on them getting that done because that could have got spooky.
Yeah, stats, Toby. I know you like your stats, right? You do your homework, and I love you for that. I really do, Toby. But stats-wise, did everything go pretty much as you expected it to go? I know after diving deep into the numbers.
Well, speaking of numbers, we predicted 3-0s, first of all, didn't we? I think across the desk.
All of you talked about it.
John went 3-1, I'm pretty sure. So, sadly, Fallout was not here to kind of gloat about that. But the thing is, for me, though, Taylor, is kind of how the maps played out. Of course, District was kind of business as usual for United, right? 300 to 161. Can't really argue with that. There's nothing huge to pick apart, I feel like. With this one, no one really went off. KDs weren't really scattered across the board. With different players clutching up and whatnot, unlike some other maps. You see even TJ here, some fantastic movement. Clearly, United players had been warmed up, right, and ready to go. Lots of great drop shot usage. But then Afira was the interesting one for me. Speaking of the drop shot, Kenny, of course, former member and teammate to many of these players in this game on the enemy roster, and he was the designated drop shot player, and we kind of see why here on Afira. Fantastically well played by the whole roster, though. Look at this for a drop shot. My goodness me.
Beautiful.
And you might you might scream, why are you going for such a long range drop? Well, the fact is, it was perfectly timed, and it was over a wall where simply the players just could not see it coming. Dyslexic could not see it coming. Kenny, such smart movement here, right? The cast has talked about this a lot with the meat shield. Brilliant play styles right there on the regrouping. But what was so great about Afira for me, though, Taylor, truly so, was just the strategy. From within 3 rounds of play, or 4 rounds of play, they had switched the initial strat 3 times to out-strategize eUnited. They avoided that hotel fight. But then we went to Vazgar, and it was kind of just back to basics. And I felt like, you know, why aren't we kind of sticking with that strategy of trying to outstrat eUnited rather than going toe-to-toe on these initials with the slaying power? They tried it on Vazgar, and what happened? Kenny went from king status in Afira to 8-16 on Vazgar. They didn't have a great time at all. 5-1, Cells 3-18. What a massive change up that was from Afira, of course, huge. He finished there on 8-5 actually on Afira, and then yeah, of course we saw Ritual, so close, wasn't it? Fantastic showing from eUnited, truly seeing that one out. But yeah, impressive moments, I will say, for Northern Forces.
Yeah, impressive indeed. And Ryan, I love the fact that we did see the composure regain. You know, Kenny-led rosters tend to have that composure. Plus, you have, you know, 3 other veterans joining, you know, alongside him. So it's not surprising that even after taking a massive beating on Vazgar 5-1, they still come back and make the Ritual control competitive, which, if I think about Northern Forces, I don't think their control is anything spectacular, quite honestly. So the fact that they did take it the distance on Ritual, we might go to map 5. You said it best, you know, all bets are out when you go to map 5 execution. I think map 4, honestly, for me, wasn't necessarily, you know, Northern Forces being their better map on Ritual. I think it was more so that they were just like, we're not losing. You know, we really want to win this, and they dug deep. Unfortunately, just wasn't deep enough.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about a couple of the maps that this team tends to lean on, right? We talk about Afira, we talk about Ritual Control, right? They lose the Afira, and then Ritual Control is the map that got very, very close. So that's something I'm definitely going to kind of keep my eye on with the rest of this tournament. Last event, we were talking about it all the time, right? How good of a record this team had on those maps. So I'm going to keep my eye on that one. It could just be, like I said, it's one match. I mean, teams, all the time you see things like this happen, then they kind of go back to usual. But that's definitely something to keep an eye on. Again, I wouldn't say that one match is going to be the telling tale of an event, but certainly something I didn't expect.
Well, and it was nice to see Powers like excel as well as he did. And I think Powers takes the series very personally, right? When he goes against, you know, Kenny, and it's not because of hatred or anything like that. It's just, he wants to beat him, you know, ex-teammates, you know, he wants to prove a point, and eUnited in general wants to prove a point. We know that storyline. We don't have to dive into that, at least at the moment. But we've had a lot of great matches today, and things are shaping up quite nicely. Boys, let's take a look. And so far, Toby, this is what we've had.
Yeah, great showing actually from PK. Of course, Fury won, no surprise there, 3-0s across the board. And like you, Taylor, right, I'm really fancying Fury 1 this weekend. I know we discussed it in great detail over some calls before the event. I think they're looking really, really good, and I'm glad to see that they're kind of not dropping a map there against Alpha Esports, of course, formerly Abyss. Meanwhile, we've got kind of that matchup that we hear versus Cassidy Babel R2 kind of coming from the challengers. Close to see, or really close between those two challenger teams, right? Fantastic to see some really great games coming out from kind of those teams, especially Twilight earlier too.
And Ryan, as we look at the overarching pool play, we had an update a little bit earlier, but let's take a look at this update. And for me, nothing is really standing out per se, outside of Twilight nearly getting a victory over Casa de Papel. That could have shook things up.
Yeah, I was going to mention that one. That match was so close, and you really had to feel for Twilight, right? That team coming out of the Challenger Series, #1, coming through, have a tough pool, really had a chance to take one away, and unfortunately the Vets do come through with it. But an incredible match for a Friday. That was the one I was looking at the most. The rest of the pools, you're seeing a lot of kind of the business as usual. eUnited already kind of had their hardest match in the pool now. PK obviously off to a strong start. Fury 1 off to a strong start. Those two are going to come together for a good match, and that pool C, man, we know that's the pool of death. That's the one that's going to be the spiciest.
It is, Toby, Team Queso, SSJ looking like a relatively strong team as well. So it really comes between those two, Team Queso, SSJ, who's going to be moving forward. We know one team from each pool is going to be eliminated, so a lot of pressure there.
Yeah, a huge amount of pressure on Team Queso, right? They've had, honestly, a really dreadful Pro League split compared to previously. They've kind of been that consistent, yes, in the lower half of things kind of team. But 1-8 in Pro League, as far as I'm concerned, has been unacceptable. We had the pleasure of casting over summons very early on, right, in Pro League, me and you. And
you were happy for them.
My storyline going into that was like, this is perfect. We've got summons now to kind of round out this awesome Team Queso squad with so much slaying ability, and I thought that would be the kind of ticket, but sadly it's just gone the opposite way for Team Queso. They've lost so much slaying power. Summons 39 in both KD and KDA. He's not having the greatest of times in that particular department when it comes to kills, and I think, super pressure, a high pressure situation now going against SSJ. They have to see that one off.
Definitely do. Like the way things are shaping up. No surprises, but we have had close series, and this split in general has been close all around. So all teams should know they need to bring their A game into each and every match, even against maybe some of our challenger teams. Nothing is guaranteed at this point, and that should be very apparent. It's been a good day. We still have a lot more to come. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, Jordan Curl will be on screen. She's going to be interviewing TJ from eUnited. We get to pick his brain and just see how he's feeling about the tournament so far. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Gears Summer Major. As Taylor said before the break, I am Jordan Curl here, joined with TJ Forrest of eUnited, just coming off of a very big win over Northern Forces. First of all, TJ, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
How did you feel about your performance? And obviously, I have to ask, we've seen you guys play before, but did you circle this match on the books for you when you saw them?
Not really. I mean, yeah, not really, but as a team, I feel like we did really, really good, rotating the map. Individually, I feel like I could do a little bit better. But as a team, I mean, I felt really, really good about our team, team shit.
Yeah, I know that obviously going down in one map wasn't what you guys wanted, and the analyst desk obviously picked you guys to sweep them across the board. Did that sort of impact you all, obviously having to come back and fight, and how did you feel about going down in that one?
To be honest, they played really good on that map. They actually I feel like they outplayed us that map. We wasn't expecting them to come out like that. But we usually play the hotel, and we play more towards the hotel, and they actually spread us apart across the map. So I feel like they played that map really good. But we wasn't too hard on ourselves on the map because we got outplayed.
Sure, that makes sense. It's only day one, so you can't get too low very early on. And Ryan said that you all are one of the best teams coming in this weekend. And do you feel like that adds more of a target on your back, or how do you feel about when you hear that?
I feel like the last two majors were the best team coming in, so it's really no pressure. But there's really no pressure at all. We just got to tee up on Sunday, and that matters. But really no pressure on us.
Sure. Obviously, it's just Friday, like I said, but this is the final major. So I have to ask, I know it's just day one, but how do you feel when you think about that? Probably haven't had too much time, but did that change the way you felt coming in at all for this event?
I mean, definitely, because this event means the most, to be honest. To me, to all of us, to the whole entire team, this event means the most to us because it's literally the last Gears 5 event. We don't know when the next Gears is coming out, so we all want to win this one event.
Yeah. Was there anything specific, though, that you sort of talked about? I know you said it's very important, but was it a certain aspect of it that made it more important for you guys?
I mean, it just being the last event and us, us losing in grand finals back-to-back events just didn't sit well with us. So we're happy to have this last chance to, win this chip.
Yeah, we are looking forward to seeing the rest of the way for eUnited. Good luck, TJ. Congratulations again on the win. Head up, looking great the rest of the way. But for now, don't go anywhere. I'm going to send it over to Colin and the guys at the desk to regroup and talk about the next match that we have coming up.